What's the motherfucking deal? Welcome to the Den. I'm glad that you could join me this afternoon. If you're glad you could join me this afternoon, and whatever thoughts are on your mind today, that's kind of what we're going to discuss. Free Range Friday. I'm going to try to catch up on some things I may have missed, things that y'all may have sent, or comments that I may have not got a chance to get on, and just whatever you guys want to talk about. Kind of mad, man, because I've been trying to get the podcast resent into Spotify, and they keep rejecting the shit, so I don't know if these are too long because the streams are long or what, but fuck Spotify. I mean, fucking push a bunch of agendas anyway. It's just convenient for now. So again, I'm your host. Let's get the proper protocols out the way. Let's kind of get into some good conversation. Let's have a good old Friday. Let's get in. It is also, for those of you who don't know, on Fridays I like to do a thing called Fuck 'em Friday. So if you got something on your mind, something you gotta get off your chest, hey, you gotta call in and just hey, speak your mind, man. Speak your mind. But again, let's get to it. You want to follow my personal social medias at Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter. I post on there time to time. Like the video, hit that subscribe button if you're new to it. Subscribe and like. If you old school, share it on popular platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and at Den Show Live. If you want to follow the show's social medias, this will be the last 1 p.m. Den of the week, Monday through Friday. But we will be live tonight, tomorrow, Sunday, at 10 p.m. Central. Den Show Podcast, you should be able to find the link to, you follow that link, it'll take you to all the uploads of the streams that we've been having, and I'm going to be putting some original content on some of the podcasts, so make sure you stay tuned for that. If you want to go get the Never Seen a Hater in Real Life, you want to go get That's Unfortunate, Honcho's My Home, and a couple other items that they have there, you can go to denshowmerch.com and get you some out the Den Show shop and get you one of these fancy mugs too. You can call the Den anytime. 833-284-3336 is the number if you want to call, if you want to send a text message, if you got a picture message, some news that you want to send a screenshot, a funny meme, whatever it may be. I try to check those out. I got to get better. I've been a little busy the last couple of days because I'm trying to overhaul a lot of the stuff that I'm doing and just really get it right, kind of heading into next week. Really get, organization is key, but getting my organization a lot better and being, I'm trying to 10 times my efficiency and my productivity. So just really doing a lot of things differently. But I guess getting that system set up is what's taking a little time. So I haven't been able to respond as much as I normally like to some of the text messages, some of the voicemails and things, but I will get back on that hopefully this weekend, starting Monday, or this weekend or Monday. If you want to donate to the channel, you can make a one-time donation via Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/The Den Show. That is terrible. That is terrible. But we'll get to that in just a second. Shout out to everybody who's been showing love and dropping Benjamins. And then if you want to subscribe, if you want to pledge to the long-term success of this community, you can go to patreon.com/The Den Show. Shout out to Miss Grace, Stina Story, James, Dan the Man, Diana, Donald Trump, Miss Goya, and Betty Spaghetti. I appreciate all of you for having faith in this community as we continue to grow. Let's talk about it, folks. It's Free Range Friday. A lot of things. Last night the stream started getting a little choppy. It got terrible towards the end, so I kind of deaded it. It was terrible. I ain't finna talk about the fucking Westbrook. So we got a couple of things. So Miss it.The Gamma sent in something, and I hope she wanted me to share that. I don't know if she wanted me to say her name or not, but oops if I did. But we were talking about men's rights last night, right? And sent a very interesting email about a situation that she's familiar with. And excuse me, let me see. I got him cut out the black. I still got the phlegm. Said son is currently going through the situation, the men's rights situation now. His baby mom has been taking his rights away to his son for 6 years. They broke up shortly after the kid was born. She fled to Alaska. The grandson was born there. My son was not given an opportunity to see him born. Fast forward to now, She moved to Hawaii. My son has only seen his son maybe 3 times. The boy is turning 6. Now she wants to put my son on child support. I'm going to fight for joint custody. I feel that women can be vindictive, using these kids to control the situation. I'm not going to go on and on, but there should be better laws in place to protect both parties equally in situations like this. I absolutely agree. And so this is what I was trying to say last night, that we're kind of talking about, I won't say fringe situations because it happens a lot more often than not, but again, not to discount the dads that don't, but there are situations where the woman has complete control. There's nothing a man can do. If a woman picks a kid up and runs cross country with it, what can a man really do to stop that? You know? But let's see what we got joining us today, and then let's get into it. But Betty Spaghetti, what's the motherfucking deal? You getting tipsy and making potato. Do not put any raisins in the potato salad, Miss Betty. Miss Meat, what's the motherfucking deal? Sit your ass down. DeMarkey, what's the motherfucking deal? Baker Man, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Never liked Spotify, me either. Danny, Dominic, whoever you are. We're talking about that shit. We're talking about that in the Sauce Sports TV tonight. We'll probably talk about it. I'll probably be on the other Sauce channel, not the Texans channel. O'Shea, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Nikki, Napping Nicole, what's the motherfucking deal? Mr. Tarver, yes, thank God it's Friday. Kenneth, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Ruby Roo, what's the motherfucking deal? And but my thing is this. So you go and but here's it's different because see, that's why I say I know women feel one thing one way and the other way. If I went and I pulled up on my kid and she went to another state and did all this other stuff, okay, I don't live at that residence. I'm not in that area. All she has to do is say, oh, this man is harassing me. The father of my child is doing this, and this. What's going to happen? That man's going to get taken away. Period, point blank. I mean, that's just pretty much it. It sounds good, and I'd be willing to fight for my child and my children, but you have to go through a tedious legal process that takes a lot of time, a lot of money, and 9 times out of 10 in the end, it's not going to fall in your favor. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. But at that point, like I said, I don't think in that situation, I don't think that the joint custody was established yet. So that means they were still together, because a lot of these things start out, we're going to be together forever, and I'll never leave you, you'll never leave me, I'm going to be here for you forever. And then one day somebody feels a particular way, can slide out quickly. And then what? Then you have a situation, you got to find them, you got to figure out this and figure out, you get blocked on all the social medias and all that other good stuff, and then it just becomes a problem, right? So, like I say, there's a lot of complications with a lot of these stories. And again, all the woman has to do is say, hey, there's some man outside my door and he's not supposed to be here. And then next thing you know, whoop, whoop. All right, sir, come with us, sir. And then you have one of these situations, right? So, like, I understand the pain, and well, not necessarily, I can't say I understand because I haven't been through that situation, but I've seen it up close and personally. The problems that come along with that, I've seen mom do crazy stuff. I've seen mom, well, he's got to do this. He's got to act like that kid is some type of superstar. Will try to allow family all across the country. Well, he's got to go here and go there before immediate family to get to see him. Well, I'll see if I can. I'm like, goofy bitch. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But that's a whole nother story. We're not gonna get into that. But man, well, if you're gonna go to jail, might as well load up a couple of cases with it, right? Hey, make it worthwhile. And look, we ain't gonna talk about it. We're not talking sports in here. I'm ignoring all of you. So there's that. So got a text message, and again, like I said, it's gonna be Free Range Friday. I'm gonna kind of spill my piece for a little bit. If y'all got something you want to text in, you may not want to disclose. You just got something on your mind that you don't want to put in the chat. Text it to the line, and just make sure you put, make this anonymous. If you got something that like I said, it's free range. We're gonna talk about everything. Then I will open up the line if y'all have something that y'all want to say. Let me see who else am I missing? You say no, but you had hardboiled. Oh, that's all right. That's fine. I'll slander Westbrook all the fuck I want to. Simply Deep, what's the motherfucking deal? Only One Live, what's the motherfucking deal? So, but like I'm saying though, my thing is this, right? So we have a question, and I think I answered it quickly via the text message because I don't think there's any I don't think this is a hard one. No pun intended. No pun intended. This is terrible. So we'll do a quick poll and put a 0 if it is no, and a 1 if it is yes. Y'all know I do a weird poll for some reason, right? Yes, that is the plan. The video you sent on Twitter, I had. Oh yeah, I did see a terrible fucking video. Oh, no, don't look. I'm finna block you. I'm finna do you like I do Kenneth and block you on all the platforms, DeMarkey. But very well. Thank you, Simply Deep. Thank you for asking. Wow, they went and got Tyson Chandler too. Interesting. Okay, now that actually is I'm not complaining about. You're pulling them Texans with move with that 1 year deal. But again, you see how we'll talk about that. Like I say, it'll be Soft Sports TV tonight. So here's the question. Remember, 0 if no, 1 if yes. I already know how this is gonna go. The text message says, if a guy sucks a dildo, is he gay? I think that's a pretty easy question, but they wanted to, throw this out there for the chat. Want to know your thoughts on that. I don't think I really have to answer too much of that one. That one is, they gotta look. They gotta keep arresting R. Kelly because, well, he's a big name. They feel like they got leverage on him. They feel like he beat him once. This is the movement. They got to show people they care about what's going on. Doo-doo in the cooch. Now that's nasty. That's nasty. Well, someone sent the question in, and all I'm saying is they asked, and I'm not gonna say who, what, where, whatever, but like I said, I immediately answered that because I don't think that's a hard one. Like, for what reason would you do that? There's no legitimate reason to do that. There's no stimulation. There's no, nothing. You're just doing some weird stuff, right? Hey, it's Free Range Friday. I'm allowing y'all to. I'm hoping it was too. Y'all didn't see me randomly block anybody, so that should tell you, what you need to know. Because y'all know, my thing is this. In the chat, in the stuff, I don't care about any of the comments that y'all make. As long as it's not a bunch of super suspect shit. The rest of the shit, I don't care about, your political opinions. I'm not saying I don't care. Like, I'm not going to judge you for having political opinions. I'm not going to be upset with you for expressing your thoughts, your views on anything. Oh, it's terrible. I just don't want to hear the fucking, oh man, I don't want that little dog. I don't want to hear the fucking super suspect shit. Like, everything else is cool. Express your mind, speak your piece, do all that good stuff. I gotta answer this. I'm trying to make sure of something. Do what you do. I just don't want to hear the overly suspect shit. Let me see. Everything else should be correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. Okay. All right. Everything else, whatever. So, Shannon here still, that sounds like a black person. Blueface is super suspect shit. It's trash music. But here's the deal, let's talk about you, Kenneth. We'll talk about you for a few minutes and I'm gonna open up the line. But when you do stuff like that, you just prove my point. Because I told you, you're infected by terrible music. And it's sad. And that shit is trash, so. The shit is trash. That's really all it is, man. It ain't gonna be rated MA. It's always rated MA. is when it gets to like MC-17. What is it? They still have that MC-17 or whatever. That's when it gets questionable. Ain't nobody fucking licking no goddamn popsicles. Ice cream is the only thing that's acceptable, and you can't be licking it like one of them letters in the alphabet gang. So anyway, I mean, there's a proper way to eat ice cream and not look like a, you know. You put all the language, sex, and violence. There's no violence. I don't think. Well, I don't know. Some of y'all be getting violent, so there's that. But no. But here's my thing. Like, all of it is terrible. Everything is terrible. I'm gonna start some weird shit happen to the chat. I want to talk about something, and that something is how all these big social media platforms are editing censorship, or they're not editing censorship, they're censoring everything. I need to start a company that just allows all kind of speech. We gotta change the game up. But the thing about it is, people are that sucks is that people are so comfortable. They're comfortable in the way things that they do, so they won't make those changes, even if they get nudged this way a little bit or nudged that way a little bit. It's not enough for them to go out of their way to do something different, and that's unfortunate. So like, even if YouTube banned everything, most people be like, well, I still got my fucking crazy cat videos, so I'm still, watch YouTube. Just accept what they got. Like, with these platforms are going the way of, like I say, television and pretty much YouTube's gonna be like a big fucking on-demand cable TV network. Nothing too edgy, unless it's LGBT stuff, which is allowed because that's what they push. They push a whole banner. Like, they had a whole Pride Month last month, and then I think I logged on to YouTube a couple of days ago, and they had a whole something about Stonewall. I think it was something that happened like in the 70s, 60s or 70s, because they were talking about let me see, what is 50 years later? So what is that, 60s? And I guess they just made it seem like it was this big transition in the gay rights. Like, I don't give a fuck about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck about it. I hate to say it, I don't give a shit. So that's the reason why I don't like Spotify, really. I mean, Spotify is it's convenient because I've been using it. But the thing about it is, like, I think I heard iTunes is supposed to be shutting down or something like that. I got to look a little bit more into that. And I don't know about like whatever Apple Music is, and I know that I don't think that that Tidal has like the widest selection. Because I was looking at the comparison, and really your best bet, unfortunately, is Spotify, because they have the biggest selection of music, even though they don't want to let me upload my fucking podcast. But maybe I'm talking shit about it. But the thing about that is, it's like, I hate Spotify because every time you log on, it's pushing like gay music, like that's a real genre of fucking music. Like, I don't care about Pride Month. Don't push me some fucking Pride music category. If you see the type of shit that I've been listening to, it has nothing to do with any of the fucking music you push. Anytime Drake drops an album, it's like Drake, like all across. I don't fucking listen to Drake. If Drake comes on a feature on a song, I don't fucking listen to it. So I don't understand why, like, you're trying to force this trash on me. You suggest somebody drops a new album that I don't fucking listen to. This new album, I don't care. I don't listen to none of this. You've never seen me listen to the genre like this, or this person on the song. Like, so why do you push me this bullshit? Miss Grace, what's the motherfucking deal? Say Apple Music work, Tyler's trash. Okay. My thing is, everything, what is hate speech? What is hate speech? There's no such thing as hate speech. I don't believe it. Even if I say, hey, I hate Kenneth. It's not hate speech. Kenneth gets on my fucking nerve. I don't hate Kenneth, though. I just use Kenneth kind of like a whipping boy. You mad at everybody else, just take it out on one person. No, I don't even do that. Kenneth gets his own whippings. But I don't believe in hate speech. You can say all the stuff you want to. You say all the racist shit you want to. I don't believe in it. Just because you don't like somebody, I don't think that necessarily classifies. I mean, you just don't like somebody. It's very probably improper language, but you're not compelling anybody to do anything they didn't want to do anyway. That's just really what it is. It's, you may be saying things that are inside of people that they already feel. But you can say something that I don't like this particular group, and you can give legitimate reasons as to why you don't. You can say it without using any profanity. You can say it without any using type of racial or derogatory term, and they'll call it hate speech. You know. Now, let me correct that. Now, I think there's speech that does incite violence, and I guess you could put that in there with that category. But I don't really think hate speech is a thing. There's speech that incites violence. If you're telling somebody go attack people, go throw milkshakes at people, that's inciting violence. You know, have you ever gotten a fucking milkshake from a place? Say, it's been a while since I got, but a Jack in the Box milkshake, or you can go to Sonic and get one of them. Fucking no, who is the Blizzard? Dairy Queen. Those things are a little weighted, right? They're not light. If you got a full milkshake, you haven't been eating any of it, and you throw a milkshake at someone, you think it's soft or whatever, but because it's in a container and in the, you know, it becomes like a solid almost, and yeah, it may bust open and look all special effecty, but it's not something simple. It's not something soft, but that's okay. We can push that narrative. We can push that agenda. Throw milkshakes at people. That guy encouraged people to do it. They did it to old buddy in Portland. Now he's got hospital bills, brain hemorrhaging, and all that other stuff. But yet, did he ever get banned from the platform? Did they ever stop him from allowing him to say all that stuff? Because he encouraged people to do something and they actually did it, right? He's been encouraging people to do stuff and they've been actually doing it. Yet, these people who are just speaking their mind, nobody's telling anybody to go do anything violent. Nobody's telling anybody to go do this or do that. But they're getting banned because people don't like what they're saying, you know? And so I find that to be an issue. I find that to be a problem, right? And that's tough, man. It's very unfortunate. Pride in self-esteem, there's no coincidence that they have adopted that name and hijacked the rim. Man, look, yeah, that's the thing, right? That's what is it that the pride is? What are you taking pride in? Because when you see these things that come out of these places, the pride is in nothing but sexuality. Nothing but sexuality. It's not about, hey, you know, look at this This motherfuckers walking people on dog leashes. It's people dressing up like this and that and provocatively. You got the people at the book readings dancing and stripping and strolling. None of it is about being confident in who you are. It's about, hey, let me over-sexualize myself and expose myself to the world. That's what it's about. Well, there's a lot of people out there throwing milkshakes. I think it started with that guy over there in England. And then, you know, the same guy that got Steven Crowder had a little issue with on YouTube. And Steven Crowder never said anything bad about him. The guy basically called the guy what he calls himself, a lispy queer. Well, there goes the end. But he is. He's a lispy. He has a little lisp. And he calls himself a queer Mexican or a gay, whatever he calls him. He's like the lispy queer Mexican. And that's what he calls himself. And got all upset with that and tried to say it was hate speech and YouTube doesn't care about, like, just made this big uproar. And it's crazy that one person can do all this complaining and just disrupt the whole platform, right? And that's what it is. Like, and so he's talking about we should milkshake them all and do all this and throw milkshakes at them. And you see, I'll be honest with you, man. You throw a milkshake at me, it's I'm gonna consider it a big fucking cup of spit. In the same way I told y'all I fucking deal with some spit, that's the way I'm gonna deal with a fucking milkshake. Like, and then they have people who are putting quick dry cement and shit in the milkshakes, like hiding stuff. Like you can easily hide stuff in a milkshake. It's dense. It's not what's the word, opaque. Like it's easy. You could put all kind of little things in a fucking milkshake, right? And it not be discovered. So all I'm saying is it's very, very questionable. But it's happening. People are doing it. Like I said, the little Chinese dude, the little Asian dude in Portland, they were throwing milkshakes at him, and they had trucks set up with milkshakes just to buy milkshakes, just to throw at people. But again, like I said, you don't hear anybody talking bad about this because, well, these people are supporting the side that they want them to support. So it's very unfortunate. I'm opening up the line. I've been ranting for a little bit, so I'm opening up the line, and I'm gonna let you guys call in and spill your sauce or whatever you want to talk about, except for sports. It is Free Range Friday, so like I said, we're gonna try out this. We're gonna try it this morning, see how it works out before we see if we implement this as a regular thing. Y'all already know what Friday night is. Yeah, and then those people trying to say, oh, it was a fake, and it was this, and it was that. I saw some shit. Matter of fact, I saw this thing a couple of days ago. Guy doing a speech. I forgot where he was, but I'm gonna tell you something, man. And this is my story. I'm sticking to it. You realize that the people who have the most hate in them, people who have the most, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I said the people who have the most hate in them, they're like the ugliest people. Like, really. It doesn't matter what side you're on. It doesn't matter what they're usually ugly people, and they're hateful because they got beat with the ugly stick and then pushed out into the world. I was watching this thing the other day. This guy was giving a speech at some college, and then prior to it, I guess there was a little message board going around. They were telling people, well, let's infiltrate the speech, and then we're going to do a silent protest at a certain time. This thing's going to ring at 5 or 10 minutes into the speech, and we're all going to walk out silently because, to let them know that we don't want to hear that message. Then we're going to go somewhere else and listen to somebody else talk. And so he found out about it before it happened. So he talked about it as it was going to happen. So he was just like, look, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to go on, blah, 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 blah. They got all mad, and they got up, and they were all cussing and mad and whatever. Some transgender group. He's anti-transgender or something or whatever. And if you look at all of them, every last one of them was ugly. Sloppy, ugly, weird looking, frail, overly obese, like just... One chick was very, very big and had a shirt on that said fat. No shit. Now, if somebody would have called her and say, oh, you're fucking fat, probably would have fucking lost her shit. But you're the one promoting it. So you probably can't get mad about that. I mean, it is what it is. But all those people left, and they all went out, whatever, and then somebody threw something at him. And once they threw something at him, the security got involved and arrested or tackled them or whatever. These motherfuckers started crying, hands up, don't shoot. Hands up, don't shoot. Like, this is what I'm saying, why I've been getting on black folks. Y'all gotta understand these motherfuckers are using you and making a mockery out of what you're doing, alleging to be on your side to help you with this, that, and the third. It's all a game. Like I say, hey, we'll throw you out there in front, you take a bunch of these lumps, we'll cry a bunch of this stupid shit, and keep supporting this particular side. I don't understand. It is what it is. Like I really, to me, it's a bunch of pandering. It's a bunch of people like, here, y'all come be a part of our little program because it gets our numbers up. We'll use you as the front line. Once we get that message out there, that we'll take the message and we'll run with it from here. When we're in no real danger. The guy assaulted that man by throwing something at him, and y'all start hollering, hands up, don't shoot. That doesn't work. I mean, they're not saying the guy's gonna get shot. He wasn't even in any danger of getting shot. But the motherfucker assaulted somebody. You going to jail now. I mean, that's just kind of how it works. Got a little backlash to water. Jump back on. Anyway, what's the motherfucking deal, Jerry Keith? What's the motherfucking deal? Line open. Let's get that going. Anything going on? I'm not tripping. So whatever's on your mind, whatever's going on in the world, something that you've been thinking about, something that we may not have had a chance to discuss this week, just whatever your thoughts. Like I said, we're going to test out this Free Range Friday thing and see how it works out, and kind of go from there. See how it. We'll just see how it works. So everything is on the table. These country hip hop songs that are coming out, I don't think it's nothing new. Down here in Houston, we've been jamming country rap tunes for a long time. Pimp C said that. Said, put your shit on one side of the stove. We're going to put our shit on the other side of the stove. We're going to see what's going to sell out first. You know what I'm talking about? These country rap tunes. And then I ain't what we call fart knockers. These, but, I ain't mad. But here's the thing. We live in a monkey see, monkey do society. So Lil Nas X blows up with his song, and then now you're gonna have people who are gonna emulate and gonna copy, not a genre they wanted to be in, not something they ever thought of, but they saw it work for somebody else, so they figured, well, I'll do it too. That's the problem with this day and age, is everything is mimicking. That's why I was never a Ja Rule fan, because I always thought he was like a fucking great value DMX. You know what I'm saying? Like, just everything is just like, what was that? What was that song? It wasn't Jigga My Nigga. What was that song? It was one of them songs Ja Rule was on. I thought, I was like, is this DMX? Who is this nigga? But, like I say, but the thing is, the country rap tune, we probably had that little kind of southern twang for a long time. And then you got to think about songs like Still a Bitch in My Book, which was a classic. Just still a bitch in my book. So this stuff is not original. That's why I say, like, when people say, oh, this is some new. This is not new. There's nothing new under the sun. It's all recycled. It's all being redone. It's all being just kind of recycled again for a new generation. So it's new to them, and they think that is new. I fucked around and I listened to that fucking Beyonce version. Where was it? Oh yeah, last time when I got my wig split. And they were playing that Beyonce version of the Frankie Beverly and Maze song. It's the worst shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. That shit is 100% garbage, trash, junk. Like, not dumpster juice, but dried up, encrusted dumpster juice. Like, that shit is terrible. That shit is terrible. That shit is the worst, man. So, Meek is alright. Championship was the one good album that he had. That Championship album was decent. But the reason why Championship was good, because he rapped on a bunch of old samples. Took a bunch of old ass samples and fucking made them sound like something. He had a story to tell, but before that, Meek was like, alright. Like, I like Meek more than I like Drake, but nobody's really just, I guess niggas in Philly maybe, but who was really just checking for Meek Mill shit? You know what I'm saying? Gold and platinum records. Y'all don't even know what gold and platinum is, man. Y'all don't know what gold and platinum is. There is no gold and platinum anymore. The motherfucker, you could have one motherfucker put a bot on a fucking streaming site and let it play songs over and over and over again, and motherfuckers would go gold and platinum. Gold and platinum used to be people would actually go out and physically buy your albums. People would actually would spend hard-earned money, not pay a subscription service, a set price a month, and then listen to your album a lot. Then it counts as whatever. It didn't count as, hey, when you buy some of my merchandise, I'll give you a free album, and that counts towards sales. Or if you buy my ticket to my concert, you can redeem a free album, and that counts towards sales. Gold and platinum meant that people went out and bought. People bought 1 million fucking albums. You sold 1 million physical copies of albums. People still buy, but nobody's selling 1 million albums. Who's really sold 1 million? I'm like, that's what I'm saying, Kenneth. Like, this is what I'm saying where you start getting dumb, because it's funny. Kenneth start getting upset because he loves these fucking musicians. He wants to be a musician so bad, or not even a musician, but a rapper, whatever you want to call him. They're not selling 1 million albums. The standards have changed to what platinum is. You get 1 million streams or something, they'll call you platinum. Nobody is selling 1 million physical copies of albums. There's not even 1 million people with CD players in America anymore. ain't nobody. So that's the thing. So you just said people still buy albums, and then now you said nobody is. All right, so thank you. You just defeated your own point. Nobody's buying physical copies of albums anymore. it's all streaming service stuff. So it's like I can go pay what is Spotify, like $16 a month, something like that, 16, $17 a month, and pay for that and listen to Meek Mill's album 10 times. They count that as 10 purchases of a fucking album. That's how that works. So instead of somebody going out and buying that one album and that counting as one sale, when artists literally sold millions of physical copies of albums, fucking records, big ass, inconvenient ass records, tapes, CDs, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. So you can't, okay, so thank you. You just proved my point, Kenneth, and you don't even realize it. Back then, artists went diamond and platinum with sales. That's it. Nowadays, you cannot do that. It doesn't happen. Now you have to blame bootlegging and the internet and everything that comes in with that. But nobody is doing that, right? Exactly. And that's what I'm saying, though. The times have changed. But now, the things that count, it's weird to me. Like, you can go out and say you buy merch and you can redeem an album. Like, I don't understand how that counts as something. That's weird shit to me. You know what I'm saying? But now, the things that, and you don't even own the music. So say you do something foolish, they can cancel all your shit. You know, that album sale will still count. They can cancel it. Like they just did that to DJ Khaled or something, because he did some weird shit. And he was upset because I forgot who had the number one album, or it might have still been Lil Nas X or whatever. He thought he had the number one song because some kind of sales, and again, they can throw all these little stupid ass fucking caveats into it, and excuse me, they can put all these little stupid ass caveats into it and count these as tallies in their Tyler the Creator shit. That's what it was, yeah. And so he was mad because he thought he had but what I'm saying, it's not, I don't give a fuck about the label or whatever it is. It's a stupid thing that you can do all these extra shits to count your shit. Buy a ticket to my show and then you get a free album. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Spotify fucking them over though. And that's what I mean. So the technology, so even when they're telling you, oh, this person did, this many sales, or this person did this many plays, or this person did this many whatevers, a lot of that is manufactured. You know what I'm saying? Old ass rappers put in work. Old ass rappers laid a foundation for rap music to be what it is now, to be probably the most played genre of music now. Because if they would have took shortcuts when rap was not respected, when rap was just like, oh, look at these goddamn niggers making their hippity hop rhymes. They're talking about shooting up convenience stores and wearing their Pumas. Like, you had to lay a foundation. Work had to be made. Just like here in the South. Right now, Southern rap is probably, of all the rap, the most listened to in this day and age. Southern rap artists got no play, unless you was in Atlanta. Atlanta is really the East Coast. It's not the South. Unless you was in Atlanta, you got no play on the radio. You got no play on BET and all that. Like when Houston got on, it was a major deal. When some of these other places got on, it was a major deal. It was New York, it was LA, and you had a couple of little Atlanta sprinkled in. What's his name? Andre said, hey, we got something to say. Houston wasn't getting no play. You had to go and play the Chitlin circuit. Basically, you had to hit clubs throughout the South to get your music on. Like what UGK did with Riding Dirty, basically get no radio play, to no video, to go gold with no video, with no real promotion like that. That's from work. Every rapper worth his salt knows Riding Dirty. Some of y'all young niggas don't know shit, but your favorite rapper's favorite rapper knows fucking Riding Dirty. I don't care if you're on the East Coast, Jay-Z was quoting lyrics out of Riding Dirty. I don't care if you're on the West, them niggas know about Riding Dirty. Like, that's what I'm saying. Okay, it might be barely 5 artists that have diamonds. So like what you're trying to do is set a bar that only a couple of artists have ever done. I can name you several that's done it off platinum. There's plenty off platinum who've gone platinum from rap music. So what I'm saying is you're talking about diamond, which most genres probably don't even have an artist who's gone diamond from every genre. You're talking about a few, maybe like a Prince, I want to say maybe the Beatles or somebody like that, or one or two other artists. It might not even be 4 people who've gone diamond. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to put these, you're trying to load the question a certain way that it doesn't make any sense. But I know you feel upset because you're born in a whack generation. It's okay, Kenny. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Just do what you do. Wow, no, what a deal. I'm glad he was talking about how him and Bushwick didn't like each other. But that's what I heard. The Ghetto Boys always had like a little bit of beef and tension like that because, they wasn't really always just, but again, labels put these groups together sometimes. They don't really be homeboys like that. Hey, I got this artist, and if we put him with this artist, we can make a group out of him, and it might sound real good. So again, you can say that, but Devin the Dude is self-made. Ain't never been pushed. Ain't nobody put no hype behind him, and he's doing all right for himself. DeMarque just mad because it's hot outside and he light skinned. So like when it get hot outside, light skinned niggas start getting frustrated. All right, let's see what we got called here, man. Let's see what we got going on. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we have called? Well, I guess I gotta fix the thing. I probably ain't even changed the audio. I probably got this shit up. I'll be forgetting. Play as fuck up. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got called into the den this afternoon?
Man, it's your boy Roman.
Roman, what's on your mind, Roman? How you feeling this afternoon, man? What do you feel? What's on your mind? It's free range Friday, so you can talk about whatever you want to.
Oh man. Well, I'm talking about it. You been hearing about the R. Kelly situation, Honcho?
Yeah, briefly. I didn't hear all about it. I kind of heard a little bit about it last night, and I haven't really looked into it today. I've been working on some other stuff, but I'll probably end up talking about it for the day's over with.
Oh man. Well, they said they got him on what they said 4 federal charges, and then I think 2 charges child pornography, and 3 charges sexual abuse, something like that, of a minor. So, man, the key question they're asking, and I want to ask you this, they say, is this like the last time is he really gonna be arrested this time? Like is he really done this time? What you think, Honcho? You think this is his last time, or you think he got another chick?
But here's my thing is that I think if I'm not mistaken, he's still dealing with the other stuff. So, man, right now they just went on a whole thing, and I want to believe Kim Fox is behind it too. But
oh yeah,
my thing is this: he's gonna get bailed out or whatever else, and they'll find another thing to do. They're gonna try to pile it on to the point where there is no. They're not gonna let R. Kelly make. R. Kelly gonna end up going the route of the Cosbys and the OJ. OJ is the greatest. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. But of the Cosbys and everybody else, they're gonna try to end and cancel his career. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Trust me, and it's not just. I think it's much bigger than y'all really want to know. But cause my thing is, wow, old gal, she really started that whole avalanche of stuff, and I'm sure she has friends and associates in other places, and so that's why they probably looking into shit. But that little documentary and shit like that is fucked up because those kind of things can definitely play on people's emotions, and they've already made him guilty in the court of public opinion. And again, it's just a whole nother conversation. We'll get into it. I ain't gonna until I read up on the news details.
I also think with this, it's always 2 sides to the story. I'm not saying all those girls are lying, but I'm not saying I don't think all of them are telling the truth at the same time. Mm-hmm. You always got to hear both 2 sides because you can't believe. This is why it's iffy with documentaries. When documentaries is talking about something, when I'm talking like a sports documentary, when they're detailing something, that has facts, that has facts to it. Because either you've seen it, it's something, that's pretty factual with some with sports. Mm-hmm. And even like with animals and all that, those type of documentaries, they got facts behind them. But when it is a documentary, a tell-off documentary, kind of like a tell-off book, you're trying to expose somebody, it's always iffy because you don't know. Is this for personal gain? Is this true? Is they making this up? Is this for attention? So, like I said, I'm not denying those girls that he didn't do it. I do think he did it. But you always got to hit 2 sides to the story. But my last question is, you still going to listen to his music or you through, Honcho?
I haven't listened to R. Kelly in a little while, but I may start listening again in rebellion. just to rebel against the system. I may start listening again. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, look,
look, R. Kelly's still on the playlist. I'm sorry, bro. It's just now you got to listen to them in private, just in your home, because you go out there, you gonna get killed, man. But yeah. But one last thing, Honcho. So why? Explain to me why you don't like the Russell Westbrook thing, man. What's throwing you off?
Man, we're gonna talk about that in soft sports tonight. I ain't gonna talk about it right
Ah, man, you haven't done that on Fox TV, man. I gotta ask you the question, bro.
now. Nah, I'm gonna be on there tonight. It will be addressed tonight.
All right, man. Well, that's become Honcho.
All right, well, I appreciate your call, there, Ron.
Man, anytime.
All right. Oh man, that boy Kenneth is a stan. Y'all talked about his boy Drake. His feelings that got hurt. He over there getting emotional. Y'all that riled up. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. He sound like one of these. Sound like some chick trying to defend a man or something. Kenneth, are you okay? It's gonna be all right. Calm down, Kenneth. It's gonna be okay, man. It's gonna be all right. What's the motherfucking deal? We got called into the den this afternoon. Man up, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What's on your mind this afternoon, man up?
Disneyland.
Okay. What's your thoughts on the fight at Disneyland? I got you. You good? Okay. I had you roaming for a second. You good now?
Oh, okay. Man, you know, I know everybody's seen it and everybody had their opinions, but man, I just have to say this because I've heard a couple people say it, but not too many. But I just have to say this here, man. I think that was a good golden opportunity that was messed up for them kids. You know, because if you think about it, not too many kids get to go to Disneyland. And, you know, it's not too many adults that, you know, gets to go and they want to go. And for example, I've never been, you know what I'm saying? So, and I think that's one of those places that where you have to leave all your drama, your nonsense, everything that's going on with you outside the door. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like going to like your local amusement park. You know what I'm saying? But going to like a place like that is a place to where everything just supposed to be left outside, all the drama, the headache, the nonsense, and that's just a time and a place for you to enjoy everything. And when you mess up that opportunity for those kids, you know what I'm saying, now they scar for life on that shit, and you ain't think about, you know, whatever it was that was going on that started. I mean, I know that woman spit in that man's face, but before that they started arguing. So whatever it was they were arguing about, you couldn't say, you know what, we're gonna talk about this later, or when we leave here, don't ever say nothing else to me, or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they want to say. It's like you couldn't put your personal differences aside and say, I'm here for these little kids, and then they're gonna knock grandma down at the scooter. So, well, she got up out the scooter, but they're gonna knock her down and stuff, shit like that. I saw that shit. I was like, I don't know if she was gonna try to stop the fight, or join in on the fight, or whatever the hell she was doing.
She don't know.
But they're not. I don't know what her intentions was, but she got knocked the hell down and shit like that. Then that man gonna beat up on his own woman and stuff. It was just ridiculous. But I just think, man, that was my whole big deal when I saw that. I was laughing, but then I had to stop laughing.
Yeah.
Because the shit was funny, but then I'm like, you know what? This shit ain't funny. I mean, it sounds stupid, but
I get what you're saying.
But my whole thing is, man, it's like, even like I said, even if you just go into your local state county fair, your local amusement park, your local Six Flags, whatever. So you just got to know when there's a time and a place for everything, and that definitely was not the time, and that definitely was not the place. You know what I'm saying? So then I saw a report the other day. Excuse me. I saw a report the other day that they was denying that it was not them that was fighting. It was somebody else. I'm like, how you going? Yep. I was like, how you going to deny that? There's no way possible you could deny that.
You gotta look for
but anyway,
big questionable looking ass nigga with some weird hairstyle, you know who it is. Man, but what are your thoughts on what do you think it makes it worse, the fact that they were all family?
Well, I thought I read a report on it. The two that was arguing at first, the girl, the big girl in the white shirt, and the man that was in the pinkish reddish shirt, whatever.
Yeah.
Them two were brother and sister.
Yeah.
The rest of them. Oh, and then there was another lady that was a sister as well. But the two men wasn't related. The two women that kind of got into the fight was not related. So it was just a couple of people that was related.
But I mean, but with them starting off being brother and sister though, but don't you think that's kind of what does that say about their family? Even Big Mama who fell out the scooter, you know, what does that say about the way she raised him? If that's her son and daughter, 'cause he said that was his mama, you know. And I think the chick in the black shirt, I think that was supposed to be a sister. But the fact that he slapping on his sister, doing all that, I mean, with no abandon, like that has to be some type of sign of the way that they were raised. Like if he has no remorse about, then he went back over there pulling on her hair and doing all that other stuff. Like, what does that say to you about the way they were raised?
You know, to me, it's just saying that this society these days, or I ain't gonna say these days because they look a little bit, it looks around our age, you know. So, but to me, that's just a sad environment that they, you know what I'm saying, how things were going on. I kind of could agree with you a little bit on how they were raised, but then again, you know what I'm saying, once you become of age, you know what you're doing. So I say it's him and the sister that should have been taught, or at least told, hey, you know what, no, wait till y'all leave this part. You know what I'm saying? Put your emotions, your difference to the side, and then you wasn't taught to do no shit like that, then I think something was wrong there. Something had to happen in their lives, or you know, whatever. Because ain't nothing that damn serious for you to act a fool like that. And then, to me, the funniest part was Home News talking about, I'm ready to go to jail. I'm like, no, the fuck you ain't. No, the fuck you ain't. Don't even try it. You just want to act like you Billy Badass. You ain't ready to go to jail. Anyway, but then another part that kind of pissed me off was the fact that he's want to go to protect his woman, then he started beating up on his woman.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That dude been beating up on. She used to it because she was over there apologizing for it. So, you know, that ain't the first time he done beat on her. He had no problem beating on the sister. The only one he was just overprotective of was the mama. So that's why I'm like, that's what I say. That's what really just makes me wonder what was really going on in this household. Because as soon as he said, "You my mama," because his sister said some old off the wall shit like old gal just really attacked the mama. You know, mama got in the way a little bit and got hit. You know, she knew she was not in shape to be trying to break nothing up. She could barely get off the damn scooter. Got in the middle of sitting there, so he go to attacking on her. That's why I just say I really like. I'm not saying it's her fault, everything that happened there, but it makes me question. You know, again, I don't know if the father was present. You don't know the background, but it just I feel like he probably wasn't around because I don't think if the father was in the house that his son would be just doing shit like that unless he was a scumbag too. But you know, I don't just to be with records managers hitting on every woman in sight. I think there's an issue with that.
Yeah, I agree with you too. I want to say that I don't think the father was around, but like I said though, I just can't. Me personally, once you become of age, I can't see you using that as an excuse. You know what I'm saying? You know right from wrong. You know not to go do this or how to whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because excuse me, because in this particular situation, it's like if you're going to go do, it's like damn well if I get into a fight with somebody, I know that I'm here for these kids. I'm not here for me. 9 times out of 10, adults don't go to land for themselves. Let you know what I'm saying? Let's just go put that out there. So you're there for those kids. So why are you gonna mess up their opportunity, their golden opportunity? Like I said, not too many people get to do these things. Not too many kids get to go to their local Six Flags. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if they lived in the area, but I'm just gonna assume they didn't. So why would you, you know what I'm saying, mess up all that opportunity, that planning, that money that you spent, planes, plane tickets or road trip or whatever they, you know what I'm saying, whatever, because they could have lived close, I don't know. But why would you mess that up? You know what I'm saying? So, and you know, well, like I said, I've never been, but I have looked it up before. Going to Disneyland is not cheap.
Oh no.
You know, so you messed up all that money, all that hard work and planning for whatever it was. I don't know why they started arguing because the video just when it started, there was arguing. Then he started swinging on her. She spit on him. So whatever happened for y'all to start fighting and arguing, you couldn't not be an adult and say, enough. Well, you know, me and you gonna talk about this later.
Yeah, no, but
And then another part. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, but they ain't got it in them because they didn't, you know, it's certain folks that, and it's a selfish thing, kind of like you said, is that they put them and their own feelings before any and everything else. Not even their own experience, not even the kids' experience, not even the family experience, but the experience of the people around them. Because it's not just their kids there. It's a lot of other kids.
Yep.
There's a lot of families there with their kids, and that's a traumatic scene to see all that stuff. But they didn't give a shit. They ain't giving out one shit.
Yep.
And he emotional like a woman. Because he reacted like a woman with her. Now look, what are your thoughts on spit? Now, if somebody spit on you, how do you react to a situation like that?
Okay. Now, I'm gonna say this here. Now I know somebody spit on me. Yeah, it's on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. It's on.
Yeah.
We finna go toe to toe.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's I don't even know, but I think that's the most ultimate disrespect you can ever do to a person.
Yeah, that spit is something else, man.
Yeah. But I am going to say this here, though. If I was at Disneyland, you know what I'm saying, I would probably just slap the shit out of you and walk off. Because, like I said, I got to put my differences aside because I'm there with, you know what I'm saying, for these kids. You know what I'm saying? Because I know if let's just say that was me and I'm taking my daughter, my nieces and nephews and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And let's just say that was my sister, me and my sister. I ain't gonna lie, I would slap the shit out of them and say, you know what? We're gonna take care of this once we leave this park.
Yeah.
Then once we left, then we would have had our, you know what I'm saying, settled our differences. Because I'm not gonna lie, my emotion would have ran high for that split second you spitting on me. But I wouldn't have took it that far because I don't want to fuck it up, you know what I'm saying, for everybody else, like you just said, not just for my family, all the other families that's there too, everybody else that's there. You know what I'm saying? Because now when them kids grow up and they think about Disneyland, they're going to be scarred for life by that moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now that video is out there for forever now. Because you know that it ain't never going away. So them kids gonna see that when they get older.
Oh yeah.
They gonna remember that was my mom, my daddy, my uncle, my grandma, you know, all that stuff, whoever, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things that you do have to sometimes, like I just said, there's a time and a place for everything. Now, we was out on the street, you know what I'm saying, walking, we was at the local park or something like that, that's a different story. I would have tore your ass up right then and there.
Yeah,
But
but
like
you said about
I
the
said,
kids, man, I agree because think about it, because you know this is the digital age, and what's gonna happen is gonna be one of them throwback Thursdays a few years from now. They're gonna post a picture of one of them kids when they was young. Somebody will say, "Hey, you look just like that little kid that was in that Disney video." They gonna pull that shit. It's gonna be all over.
Yep.
Then one of the little kids was hitting on the mama or something like that. So what does that tell you? Where did they learn that? They learned that from home. I mean, the daddy probably be beating on them. The kids see it.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then, if I'm not mistaken, because it kind of went by kind of quick, it looked like one of the little boys that was there, the little kid, was trying to hit up on that woman that I think it was the other sister that tried to separate them. Looked like he was trying to hit on her, and I'm like, damn, these little boys hitting on these women. But then also too, one more part, and I'm gonna go ahead and end this because I know I've been on for a minute. But I am gonna say this here: when that fight started, and that woman pushed her kids away in the stroller, talking about hold my kids, because she wanted to fight. I'm like, and then later on, talking about I want my kids, with my kids. Like you didn't give a fuck about them kids. You put them kids in harm's way because you're around complete strangers, and complete strangers could have did anything to your kids just so you can go fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So let's just say something could have happened to those kids.
Yeah.
While you over there fighting because you ain't even paying attention.
Yeah,
A complete stranger
picked
could
them
have.
up. Somebody did pick them up.
Yeah.
Somebody picked on them kids.
A complete stranger could have gave them kids some candy with some poison in it or something. You know what I'm saying? Them little kids. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So it's like you didn't even pay attention to your kids because you so filled with emotion, you ready to go fight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it ain't just a woman; it was the man too. So I'm saying, so it's like you gotta think sometimes. You gotta use your brain. I know that for the hot second you probably would have been enraged, but then you gotta say, you know what? Now let me chill. You know what I'm saying? You gotta use your brain for a moment, because at least the other dude, you know what I'm saying, he was ready to fight, but then he stopped. He said, "Come on, let's go." You know what I'm saying? At least he wanted to, say, "Okay, enough." But the other one, he just went on going.
Mm-hmm.
He had no freaking common sense.
And that's the problem. You see that too often because it ain't just them. You see it too often. You see people with kids around and they don't care. It's all about probably ain't about setting a good example for their children. And then this will be the first people that's blaming somebody else for what's going on. But you making the small decisions that lead up to the big decision. If you're making poor small decisions, of course you're going to make terrible fucking big important decisions, and that's why you're in the situation. But they'll be the same people that blame somebody else for everything. Then, like you said, they denying that it was them. And that's why you clearly on tape. You even said, "I don't care if I'm on video." Now, why you changing the story? It's you. Trust me. Yeah, those are some unique looking characters. And if you see any two of them together, you're gonna know it was them. Because goddamn, they all funny looking motherfuckers.
Yep. Oh yeah. All right, man. I ain't gonna rub on too long, man. I'm gonna let somebody else call in, man. I'll holler at you. Oh yeah, and I sent you a message, man. I don't know if you got it or not, but check it out. But I'll holler at you, man. I'm gone.
All right. That's a bet, man. I appreciate you calling in, man.
All right, have a good one now.
All right. All right, hold on. Now I know somebody else is calling in, but y'all gotta give me a second. Y'all see I've been drinking all this goddamn water, so I gotta take a small Honcho hiatus. I'll be right back and we will continue the Free Range Friday shortly. Mike being on help, son. Yeah, you ain't lying through. They did call. They timed this shit perfectly, but had to, when you gotta go, man. Nature calls, man. And the little automated thing was over there. It set off whenever I was fucking gone. It was fucking shit up. Tomfoolery and shenanigans in 3, 2, 1. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this afternoon?
Hey man, this Kemah.
Yes, Jair. What's the motherfucking deal, man?
What's up, Honcho? But yeah, man. I want to speak on the what's it called? The topic that we had the other day about almost basically why kids don't respect, or why teenagers don't respect the adults as they used to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And what I want to add to it by saying, like, look, you want to know the reason why why Roman or myself, you want to know why we could take you seriously, and instead of we don't take a lot of these other dudes seriously, well, at least I don't, you know what I'm saying? Is the difference between you and a bunch of these other old niggas, you know what I'm saying? Is that we see you doing different, and we see that you learn from your mistakes, and I can see that you run different, that you move different. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these dudes that try to give advice, you know what I'm saying? They are still broke, they still down, and they still ain't got nothing good going for themselves. So how am I supposed to take someone that's broke serious when? How you gonna tell me to go get some money when you broke yourself? Where's the logic in that? That shit don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna tell me to straight myself up when you ain't even straight yourself? You know what I'm saying? So like that's what I'm getting at, man. It's like I can't listen to someone that doesn't even have their shit together. I don't care what you telling me, man. I can't take you as seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why that's the reason why I can take man up seriously. You know what I'm saying? I can take you seriously. And some of the other dudes that call in, some of the family men that we have in South Sports, like 10, you know what I'm saying? When they call in, I can listen to them and I can actually get something out of what y'all talking about. You know what I'm saying? But if a random old nigga that's just sitting on the street, you know what I'm saying? Still on drugs, still doing this, still doing that, you telling me that I need to get myself together, bro? Get yourself together, my dude. You know what I'm saying?
This is what I'm gonna tell you here, though. This is what I'm gonna tell you, though, Kenneth. That I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, you can look at a person's failures and say, okay, well, I know that's what not to do. So a person who may not be on point, may not be doing this, that, and the third, you can use it as an example. Say you see somebody still on drugs and they fucked off and they down bad and they telling you, hey man, this is what you need to do. I made this mistake here, here, and here, and they still fucked up from it. That lets you know some of the permanent circumstances that can come along, or some of the long-term circumstances that can come along with making a bad decision. And you use that as an example, as an image to hold in your mind. Say, man, I don't want to be this nigga, tweaking on the corner with a cup and a sign or whatever because, I didn't make this decision or I didn't make that decision. Or, sometimes the stories that you listen to because they don't have the advice to tell you how exactly to do a certain thing doesn't mean that they can't give you advice on what not to do, because that's a living example of sometimes you may think, oh, well, I can slack off in this department, or I can chill. I ain't got to do this here. I ain't got to do that. But then what the long-term effect of not doing that, the long-term effect of slacking off is going to bring you to that position. And that's a person who can tell you that, and that's knowledge in itself. It may not be the answers. And I think that's the thing. A lot of y'all want answers. Y'all are in a different arena. And so we can only give you answers to a certain extent, but like the environment has changed, the dynamic has changed. So there's a certain point where y'all have to use the knowledge that you do have and then kind of find a way, because again, like I said, there's opportunities now that are available that weren't available to us when we were younger.
All right, I get all of that, Honcho, but the thing is, it's like, you always, like, you as a parent, well, not a parent, but you as a, you basically a parent to, to what, and it's like, you're bound to set a good example for your kid. You know what I'm saying? And when you see some of these kids that they look up to, all these entertainers, they look up to, they say that they looking up to some of these YouTubers. You know what I'm saying? The reason that they look at some of these YouTubers like, damn, these dudes, they doing real good, they successful, they got all of this, they got all of that. You know what I'm saying? And they'll rather look up to him because of what he does and what he's done than look up to someone who's down bad in the corner, is fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? They look at us like, man, I want to strive to be like this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Even though you may have a little bit of knowledge on the side, like, they just look at it like, man, this nigga don't know shit because if he did, he wouldn't be where he is. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I want to get y'all to understand.
But
Like,
this is another thing though. But this is where it comes down to with perception, especially with anything. That's why I tell y'all, even with me, don't believe everything you do or don't see. Think for yourself, because there's a filter when it comes to social media. And I say this not to down talk myself, but I want everybody to look at the playing field the same way. When it comes to YouTube, this is an edited form of life. So hey, what y'all see is with me right now. What you see is in the confines of this box. The garage can be filthy as hell. It can be trash all over the place. It's not, because I cleaned it up yesterday. But it could be anything. It could be dead bodies right here. It could be anything going on. You don't know except for what I allow you to see. Social media, you only know what I allow you to see. And a lot of people can fake it till they make it. Just like when we talk about the IG girls who look like they balling and doing all this while they posting up old pictures while they laid up getting surgery. And then when you see them next time, damn girl, you done got thick. No, you done got surgery or whatever else it may be. And not knocking them, but it's the perception that you're allowed to see. That person that you see in reality that's fucked up and fucked off, ain't no filter for that. Ain't no editing for that. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these people, they sell y'all a lot of even social media, a lot of the YouTubers and all that. Some of them are doing very well for themselves. Some of them are making legitimate business entities and being successful and venturing off into other things. It's not just social media. Some of these motherfuckers, especially when you have pranksters and a lot of people who are just kind of gamers, a couple of them are doing very well for themselves, but they don't really bring substance to the equation. You just see them getting a lot of attention. And I think that's what a lot of kids nowadays, I'm not saying you, but a lot of youth do, because it's a lot of adults that do. They equate attention for doing well. And there's a big difference. If you're not converting the attention is the new currency, but if you're not converting that attention into profit, into some type of value, into a product or whatever to sell or whatever it may be, then that attention is worthless. A lot of people want to go viral. You see all these people licking ice creams and doing all this shit. Why are they doing that? They're doing it for attention. But guess what happens when you get that attention? Absolutely nothing. Your face gets put out there for a few minutes. You look like a goddamn fool. Some of y'all gonna go to jail. And you've done nothing, but you got the attention you wanted because because you wanted people to say something about you. Instead of having some type of substance and then, hey, growing slowly instead of that virality or whatever it is, or even if you do have something, you do hit that viral point, you have something to put behind that. And that's what I think a lot of people get confused. So I understand what you're saying, because you feel like, oh, this person can teach me this, this, and this. But again, the avenue in which they made it, it's going to be a lot slimmer to make that avenue, as opposed to somebody who is, there's a lot of fucked up people out there who can tell you what not to do. And when you see yourself trending towards, well, I'm kind of leaning this way, I don't want to end up like that old nigga on the corner. Let me go ahead and not do this, or let this be motivation to not do this. So I understand where you're coming from, but I'm just telling you, change the perspective in which you look at. You can learn anything from anybody. The same way I said, like, I learn stuff from people older than me, same age. I learn stuff from people younger than me. If they've had a different experience, okay, hey, that ain't what I want to do, or hey, okay, I understand that. Okay, that's some new shit going on I didn't know anything about. You can learn anything from anybody. So, don't look at a person's situation and say, oh, they can't teach me shit, or I can't learn nothing from them, but you know what value to take away with the information that they do give you.
I get it. I see that. I can understand that. And another thing that I wanna ask you, like, did you hear about all that fruitful shit that niggas were we're gonna try to invade Area 51?
Yeah, I heard some shit about that. Like 30,000 people said they was gonna go run up at Area 51 looking for information and shit. Yeah, that's not gonna happen now, since the whole world know you finna do it. But go ahead. All right.
That's why I don't know about all that. Like, watch, it's only 30,000 people say it is. Only 6 of them niggas gonna show up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Motherfuckers gonna get them. They gonna get them all hyped up. 13 niggas gonna show up. And 13 niggas gonna disappear, never to be seen again. So go for it.
Yeah, another last thing before I hang up, man. Like, I don't know. One thing I want to ask y'all is, like, I don't know. Y'all must think that I'm just a Drake cosigner or something when I'm not, bro. I just use Drake as an example because majority of y'all are in the chat. Y'all niggas just hate Drake for whatever reason. But I want to know, like, what's your beef? Like, can you give me a validated reason of why you don't like Drake? You know what I'm saying?
Well, the reason I do not like Drake is because I don't feel like Drake. I think Drake, and here's the thing, I don't like him. I don't want to say I respect his hustle, but I understand how he did what he did, and everything fell in line for his situation. To me, it's whatever. He's an artist. Everything was just kind of laid out there for him. All he has to do is take advantage. Of course, you have to have the skills. You have to perform. You have to do all that. But my thing
Hey, so
is,
he just said he's fake. Like, what's fake about Drake?
he's
I
none,
don't, I
none of the
don't.
stuff he does is original. Come, let's be honest. Like, okay, he's a Canadian guy. When he first started out, I don't even know how old you were when Drake first started out. You were young. You probably didn't pay attention to it. He came down when he was an actor. So all that started from the bottom. Okay, cool, whatever. You was an actor for most of your young career. You wasn't in the streets. You wasn't doing all that stuff. You come to Houston. You build up a brand. You build up a name in Houston because you were plugged in with the right people, right?
But you so okay. Hold on. Let me stop you right there. So are you saying that some of like the reason why Drake is on is because of Houston, or he's on to the level that he is because of what he came and did with Houston?
Yeah, because it started as a platform for him. He came and he got on with Houston when Houston was right around that time where Houston was blowing up. When Houston had that little hot run, he jumped on. He was on that, and so then, like I said, that pushed him on to, Jay Prince them or whatever, whoever, I don't know if it's Jazz, whichever one of them, pushed him on to Cash Money. That's when Wayne was hot, and Wayne was, getting his little thing together, your little Young Money thing together. The
How
same
many?
way,
All right,
the same way Nicki is hot right now. The same way Drake is hot right now. Because that shit was getting notoriety. Now I'm not knocking whatever he had to do. I don't really think he's just an original artist. My beef with Drake is it's just too
Well, I'm
much.
not infatuated with Drake, my baby. I'm not infatuated with Drake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's only you niggas that every time you know what I'm saying? I just use him as a prevalent example because all of y'all just happen to hate. Just happen to hate on it.
But the thing about this though is what kills me is that y'all use Drake. A lot of y'all young niggas use Drake. Drake is closer to my age than y'all's age. So that's like another thing. Drake is like only a year or two younger than me, as opposed to damn near 10, 15 years older than you. So that's why I find it funny that y'all young niggas love Drake to use Drake so much, but he's closer to my age group than yours. You know what I'm saying? So he's not like a young nigga. He's been around for a while now. So
but see, if I said, this just go with any rapper. Like anyone can ride waves and hop on the label and fall off in about a year.
But see, that's what
You know
Drake
what I'm
has. Drake has successfully served. He successfully rode the wave because that's why he even dropped a reggae album. One album he sound like he from Houston. Then he talking about he on some Atlanta shit. To me, I respect an artist who has a sound. That's just me. And again, if it's working for him and he's doing it, that's fine. Drake does not have a sound. One album he sound like The Weeknd. The other album he sound like whoever else album he stole. These guys have come out and said, man, we basically gave him the album, or I wrote this for him, or such and such wrote this for him. And I'm not mad. Do what you do. A lot of artists give people the rights. Beyonce has a lot of her shit written for her. It is what it is. I'm not mad at that. I'm just like, I just don't think he's the greatest like everybody tries to make him seem like. He's found successes and he's done what he's had to do. He knows how to ride the wave. He sees the shit, the trends when they're coming. I'm just not a big fan. I'm not, again, shit that most people like, I'm not going to like because generally when everybody likes it, there's a lot of stupid people on this planet. And so when everybody likes something, I tend to step back and take a look at myself and be like, am I really agreeing with a lot of the stuff that a lot of dumb people like? And I got to really look at it. And again, maybe it's me being funny in a kind of a way, but I just generally don't agree. I just don't like it. To me, it's not catchy. It's not really that good. It's kind of Keith Sweatish with a modern twist to it. It's just like a lot of shitty. It's a lot of simpy behavior. I mean, it's like 1 second you a gangster, I'll be playing these hoes and it's baby, please. It's just like, who are you? Like, what are you? Like nobody. I mean, the people are dynamic, right? People have different.
I wouldn't even say the nigga's a gangster. Like, maybe he has this 1 or 2 moments that he does that foo-foo shit, but outside of that, everybody know how Drake character is, bro. Drake ain't with all that other shit.
Man, Drake be trying to play hard. Stop it now. Drake be trying to play hard. He over there breaking niggas' arms and shit and doing all this. Like, come on, man. He tried to beef with what's his name? When he tried to beef with Meek and the Pusha T situation, all those of them. Like, come on, man, that's not your lane, dog. Like, and when he's the one that originally said, if they ever diss me, they'll never hear a reply for it, and all this. Like, it's just like, come on, man. Like, I know people grow, I know people develop, I know there's versatility, but it's just like, who are you, dog? Like, what is your character? If you were to say, what is Drake's real character? Could you say, if you were to say, what is Drake? Give me Drake in one sentence that's not a run-on. Who is Drake, the artist?
Drake, the artist, in one sentence, man, that's difficult. I can't even lie to you. Like I said, I'm not a huge Drake fan. I just happen to use them as examples all the time, but honestly, Drake in one sentence, that's hard to say. The nigga be acting different sometimes, but
Exactly. And so I can't relate to that. And that's all I'm saying. It's like, if people like it, man, I love it. Hey, enjoy what you enjoy. We're not going to agree on a lot of shit. I like Lupe music. A lot of people don't like Lupe. Oh, that nigga don't jam. He's boring, whatever. Um, so like what you love, and it, people gonna talk shit. That's just what people gonna do. People always gonna have opinions. But my thing is, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you can't say who this guy is in one sentence, that means he's too all over the place. There's a lack of consistency. You know what I'm saying? There's too many artists that have come out and say, "Hey, Drake took this from me. Drake took this from me. Drake took," right when they little wave was popping. Again, it's the same shit that people say about comedians like Amy Schumer. She stole this joke.
I
She stole it.
didn't even call in to defend this, man. I'm calling in to discuss what is exactly that I don't like about the nigga, bro.
But what I'm saying
Like,
is
I just
that.
wanna. I acknowledge all the shit that he did with Take Care, all that shit. Because if I was just a fucking dickwad, then I wouldn't acknowledge that he fucking what. That the Weeknd wrote most of Take Care or whatever. Like, I'm acknowledging that. Like, I'm not defending that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
And I think it's more. I think people dislike more the Drake stans than Drake himself. Is because people just go and act like this guy is the world's greatest of all time. He found a wave. He wrote it. What kills me is people will sit here and talk about culture vultures, and they'll get mad at any white person that raps. This guy's Jewish. He's Jewish. He's probably more Jewish than anything else, and it's like, okay, there's nobody's beef with that, nobody's tripping on none of that. Like, the guy, motherfuckers always want a motherfucker to have street credit, and hey, you gotta have street credit. This guy was an actor his whole life. All he's doing is taking that acting skill and acting in rhythm on beats. So it's like that. There's this double standard for them. When people like you, or people they're willing to let certain stuff go that they won't let go with other artists. You know what I mean? And so
I dick riding when I'm clearly acknowledging when someone is done wrong, bro. How's that dick riding? I clearly said that that's his fault. How exactly am I dick riding? Come on, bro. My nigga. I literally just told you that the nigga has done his fucked up shit. If I was dick riding, I would just blatantly ignore everything Honcho just told me about the nigga. Fuck. Shut your ass, man. Whatever. You can go on, Honcho.
But all I'm saying is there's just too many caveats in his career that I don't care for, because like I say, every time he does a feature with somebody, he stole somebody's verse, Rapid Forte shit, Project Pat shit. He and then oh, it's original. Oh, no, he ain't steal this, but then next he backdooring and paying money to these artists that he stole these verses from. You know what I'm saying? And like, that should tell you something about the character right now. That should tell you something right there. Like, you got to turn around after you done dropped the song and then backdoor and go pay somebody. That should tell you a little something about what's really going on. So that's all I'm saying, man. Yeah, that's why I say I'm not a big Beyonce fan. So if the Beehive want to come, hey, y'all gonna be the ones that get stung. Y'all gonna catch some of these. I don't rock with Beyonce either. I'm not a big Beyonce fan. Like, motherfuckers will love Beyonce. What's that song what's the song she did that Future wrote? Motherfuckers will hate Future, but love say that's her best song ever. But that's a fucking Future song. That all night, that what was that? We be all night. Whoa, what she was saying? What's the song that dang off was it dangerous? Was it dangerously love? No.
Wait, with Jay-Z?
I'm
saying Jay-Z.
Yeah, the one with Jay-Z.
Oh, it was on. I forgot it was on there. Fuck, I forgot the album. Let me look.
Yeah, but like I said, that's Future wrote that song. Motherfuckers hate Future and everything he do, but he wrote that fucking song.
It was on the Magna Carta album. I remember that.
I don't know what it's called though.
I think it was yeah.
But on that,
I could be.
Didn't like the song where she started rapping the ape shit song. Migos wrote that shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, motherfuckers come out there talking about, Beyonce, she's a better rapper than all. Migos wrote the shit. She sounds just like a Migos. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is like, man, I don't care. I don't really care because I don't listen to their shit. So it is what it is. If people want to argue over it, that's fine. But I'm just not going to sit here and put these artists, because if I say, what'll happen more likely, man, I don't really care for this artist. People, well, why not? They did this. I don't care about none of the shit they did. I don't like them. And I'm not going to change my opinions on them. I'm not checking for none of their music. I don't give a shit. I couldn't tell you the last time I really listened to, I think that ape shit song might have been the last time I heard no, I'm lying. I just told you the other day at the salon, I heard her do that fucking Frankie Beverly and Maze remix, and that shit was trash. Anybody who's heard the original song and listen to that shit should be disappointed. That shit is garbage. That shit is trash. Like, I don't care what no one says. That shit is trash. And then, like I say, just I'm not. I mean, it doesn't appeal to me. Like I said, and that's with her being from the city. I think she's fugazi with the city too. Because the only time she ever showed up to a Rockets game is when they play at fucking Golden State, and then next week you see her at the Golden State game when they playing in Toronto and all of that. She ain't a Rockets fan. They had that photo shoot. She wearing a Derrick Rose jersey when James Harden was in MVP contention. Like, come on, man. I ain't rocking. I'm not rocking Beyonce, dog. Like, y'all can miss me with that shit. She's Houston when it's convenient. You know, so.
Beyonce, the thing is, most people hate Beyonce and all this because of her stance, like the Beehive or whatever. Like, them motherfuckers, like, they would do any and everything to ruin your career or whatever you be doing, no matter how small. Like, they would pick up any and everything, bro. Like, the shit is crazy how her fans are. Like, oh. Oh yeah, one more thing, Honcho, that I want to ask. Why is it that y'all, why is it that everyone basically says that every rapper sounds the same nowadays? You know what I'm saying? Like,
because what's pushed to the forefront, they all sound the same.
Honcho, bro, what's that word? I forgot. You're putting them all into one category when that's just not the case, bro. You can't sit here and tell me that every rapper has the same flow and raps the same nowadays. That shit just don't make sense.
What I'm saying is, what is pushed out to the mainstream. I'm not finna go. Y'all little young niggas, y'all have time to go look for these new rappers or your homeboy. Oh man, this little dude here, he's good. I'm not going and checking for these little niggas. So I'm not finna waste my time because I'm not gonna like the majority of them. So I'm gonna stick to what I know. But I know what I'm saying is, for most people, especially in my age group, who are not on these underground dat piffs and mixtapes.com or whatever the fuck it is, what's getting pushed out to the mainstream, the people who are getting the play in the mainstream or who are getting promoted in the mainstream, they all sound very similar. The only little nigga I think that sound a little different that I like that's nowadays is that they all got the same damn name. Is The Baby, not Lil Baby, The Baby. I actually like that little nigga. He got a couple little songs I like. But Lil Baby, the Gunna nigga, all them other little niggas y'all be talking, they all sound exactly the fucking same, dog. Cause what's the song with Lil Baby? It's a song with Lil Baby and Gunna both on it. I heard it. Somebody was telling me, but I thought it was the same nigga. It's like Lil Flex and Lil Flex and Youngster. They sound like how they used to sound. I could not tell the fucking difference, man. They all the same song. I didn't know who was who. You know what I'm saying?
You know, motherfuckers, ain't they brothers or some shit? I think they brothers, but them motherfuckers just bought off each other. But they got their own little style to each other. It's like, y'all saying that, so what y'all telling me is that Meek Mill and Rich the Kid sound exactly the same.
I don't know who the fuck Rich the Kid is. Is that, hold on. Rich the Kid, that's the little nigga that ran from the little transgender nigga, Lil Uzi? Is that the nigga who was that the nigga who was Lil Uzi walked up on him and he ran off?
I think that was Rich the Kid. I think that was.
Okay, so why would I listen to his music? Lil Uzi looked like a young dyke in training, and this nigga running from this motherfucker. I'm not finna listen to none of this music, babe. I ain't listen to none of this shit,
bro. Y'all acting like, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all old rappers weren't dressed weird and shit. Y'all niggas was on some foo shit too.
Like who? Like who? Go ahead. Like who? Go ahead. Tell me who.
I seen it, bro. Like, bro, look, I'm gonna just say this, man. Like, I don't even care about how the artist dressed. Like, that shit don't matter to me. I care about the music. You know what I'm saying?
And if the music sounds similar, what
Danny
can
Jones,
we
I
say?
do not sound like Rich Homie Quan. I do not sound like that nigga. No, cut it out.
Yeah, that's that shit, man. Stop
yeah,
Drake. They supposed to be giving no goddamn ammunition, but they was great. They were. But again, look at what Missy did. Missy was probably one of the most underrated, unappreciated rappers of all. Missy got younger. She lost a bunch of weight. She looked young as hell. Andre 3000, one of the greatest to ever do it. He's allowed to be weird. Missy was unique in her own style, but they sounded like no one else. These niggas look exactly the same and all dress weird. So these motherfuckers were created because that was just a part of who they were. They were so unique in their sound, unique in their production, unique in everything they did. They also dress unique. These niggas all dress weird and rap the same. You know what I'm saying?
So what? Kid Cudi, Honcho. Do you think Kid Cudi sounds like someone else inside of a rap game?
Kid Cudi, the guy with like one song, Day and Night.
Are you, bro? Kid Cudi got more than one song.
That's the only thing I know. That's the only thing I know from Kid Cudi. I don't listen to Kid Cudi like that. I know
you
Kid.
You're not even doing due diligence to even listen to some of his Cudi.
I know Kid Cudi made Day and Night and went to rehab. That's all I know about Kid Cudi.
You're not even doing due diligence to hear some of his.
Why would I do due diligence if I'm not there? If it's not a sound that's like, man, this is intriguing. Okay, I like what this guy's talking about. Let me check it out. I'm not gonna do due diligence. Like the baby nigga, he was catchy. I was like, oh, okay, this little kind of catchy. Let me see what's up. Let me see what they talking about. This little nigga. He got a couple of songs. Like, all right, I'll listen to it. Kid Cudi, I probably heard one or two other songs, but they didn't catch me, and I didn't get into it because I know he had another song or two out there. But I was just like, this shit ain't what it is. I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna listen.
But I can acknowledge that what you say when some of these rappers sound the same. I can acknowledge that. Well, let's say, for example, Young Thug, and I could say Gunna and Lil Baby. Like, I can tell that both Lil Baby and Gunna, they both completely rap out of Young Thug's book. You know what I'm saying? And Young Thug completely rap out of some of Lil Wayne's book. You know, I can acknowledge it, though. But see, some of you niggas in the chat, y'all niggas can't acknowledge that all of these rappers don't sound the same.
But what I'm saying is, but can you say that there are significant groups of rappers who have a similar sound?
Lil Wayne has the best fucking bars in the game. Easy. Nobody got better bars than Wayne. But yeah, go on, my bad, Honcho.
But what I'm saying is that could you acknowledge that there are groups of rappers who sound similar, and lots of them? Because this is what we're saying is, this is not to say that they didn't have a rapper who might have sounded like, because I talked about DMX, but like Ja Rule sounded like that shit caused an uproar. Back in the day, that shit was like, if you sounded like another nigga, that was like offensive. Like, so we weren't used to, I don't care if you were from the East Coast. It could be 5 or 6 niggas coming out of New York at the same time. It wasn't like Pun, wasn't sounding like Biggie, wasn't sounding like Jay-Z, wasn't sounding like KRS, wasn't sounding like, Rakim or somebody. Like, all these niggas all sound different. It wasn't no, well, we from the same hood, so we sound the same. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no, even in H-Town, Kiki ain't sound like Lil O, ain't sound like Hawk, ain't sound like Pat. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I said, the only niggas who sound was Youngster and Flex. That was just weird. Like, them niggas sound exactly the same. But fucking Hawk and Pat were brothers. They didn't sound alike, And so that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what we're talking about. Like, it was unacceptable to have a similar sound as but then what happened is the rap reached the genre, and this was mainstream, and I'm sure there's a lot of little niggas that sound different in the underground. But rap hit that when it started hitting that mainstream and the money was coming in and the A&Rs, execs or whatever started basically finding little niggas who were willing to sell their soul, their integrity, their identity, or whatever it is, to go make a song that sounded exactly like Old Buddy's song. Who was that nigga? And one hit wonder, racks on racks on racks. Then somebody will come make a little song that sounds similar to that. And a lot of that shit started when Atlanta, man. Atlanta did a lot of that shit. Y'all can say what y'all want to say. Atlanta started making a lot of niggas put the same shit out. Once Jeezy came with them ad-libs, everybody got ad-libs. What's happening?
That was like back in 2011, 2012. After that, everyone tried to rip off Atlanta. That's when Birdman was really rapping, wasn't on the business side of it. Birdman, Young Thug, Rich Homie Quan. So say, like, all these niggas, everyone tried to rip off Atlanta, and they wore the shit out so much that everything in the rap, like almost everything in the rap game started getting sold. It was saturated to a point, but nowadays it's not all saturated, which is what I'm trying to get a lot of y'all to understand, bro. It's not what it is, what it used to be back in 2015 and 2016 when the Atlanta rap taken over. You know what I'm saying? Now you have a lot of different flows. You got some in New York, you got some from Florida. You got some from Houston. You got some from Houston. You know what I'm saying? But y'all just want to.
These Houston niggas sound like Atlanta niggas now. These young Houston niggas sound like Atlanta niggas now. That shit is depressing.
True. But yeah, it's like y'all still trying to act oblivious to the fact that all of these rappers sound the same when it's not.
But you just said yourself, you just named a bunch of rappers that sound the same that are more popular.
Yeah. No, I can give you a bunch of rappers that do not sound exactly like each other.
Okay, give me a couple of them. Give me a couple of them.
You do.
Give me a few of them. Give me a few of them that don't sound the same.
The Baby. Let's start with him.
Okay.
Let's start with him.
The Baby is from what? The Baby is from what? South Carolina somewhere. So he in his own little element. He had to make his own lane. But you know why hard it was? He's been rapping for years, right?
Cool.
But the Baby.
The Baby, he ain't been rapping for too long, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I mean, he only on.
But it took him a little while to come up to get that record because he used to be Baby Jesus and some other shit. I was looking at some shit about him way back in the gap. He used to be a whole bunch of shit he couldn't get on. It took him having that little incident shooting somebody or whatever, and then he finally got on. But he wasn't getting on because of where he was at. Now you name who did you name after the Baby?
Oh shit, the Baby. You got your ASAP Rockies. You know, ASAP Rocky has a lot of different flows that he could do. He could do everything. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have.
You know what ASAP Rocky was inspired by? That he'll tell you that he was inspired by big time?
Who?
Houston.
I'm not.
When he had that little purple, that little city addy, that little drink video, and a bunch of, he'll sit there and tell you that he loved Houston music, and so that's why he had a bunch of shit. We had this song with Pimp C in the hook, and he had a whole bunch of shit. Now I'm not saying that he sounds like a Houston rapper, but he definitely does have a H-Town influence. But A$AP Rock, he's a unique sound. I'll give it to you. A$AP had a good album or two. All right, what else you got?
And it's like, let me go down the list. You know what I'm saying? You got Roddy Ricch. You got Lil Tech. He don't go.
Who is Roddy Ricch?
Huh?
Who is Roddy Ricch?
You don't know who he is?
No.
He's the dude that got on the song with Nipsey Hussle.
That's the one song I did not like. That was a terrible song. Whatever his part was terrible. His part made that song terrible.
Have you tried to get some of his other music?
No, because once if the first time I hear you and you sound terrible, what is going to compel me to want to find more of your music? If I hear a nigga on here, you sound like a fucking dog getting shot in the ass with a BB gun. Like, I don't want to hear any more of your music. I'm done. I'm not intrigued. Well, let me hear some more of this stuff. Maybe he just had a bad go right. No, I don't want nothing to do with that shit.
You got half of the Dreamville roster. You got Young Nudy. You got JID. You got Baz. Rappers that a lot of y'all don't even bother to check out, and they all sound different.
Because again, like I said, when you grow, you don't have time to go digging and searching for rappers. Like, so what we're talking about,
Okay,
though, but this is what you got to understand, though. What we're talking about saturated. Look,
So you don't even bother to
but this is what but now we're having two different conversations, Ken. We're having two different conversations. You got to listen. Okay, because when we're talking about saturated, we're talking about what's getting pushed to the forefront. We're talking about what's on your double XL freshmen and all this other shit. These are the guys that are getting pushed to the forefront. Are any of those dudes getting? Are these the double XLs? Do they have songs on the radio? Do they have any of that stuff going on?
Yes, double XL freshman is stacked this year compared to like the 2017 year.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, so all these guys that you mentioned, all these Dreamville guys, they're on the double XL.
No, they're still getting on. You know.
So they're not on. So we're not gonna know them. So we don't have time to know them right now. Okay, you got time to know them. We don't got time to know them right now because you got to look at it from the adult perspective. Okay. Roddy Ricch, is he? Because the double XL is what people are pushing to the forefront. They're saying these are the guys who are the hottest in the game right now. So Roddy Ricch, is he a double XL person?
Yes. Okay. His music is phenomenal.
Okay, well I don't know. He has a song with who?
Check the song.
You say he has a song with Lil Bow Wow?
Lil Bow Wow who?
I thought you said he had a song with Lil Bow Wow.
No, Roddy Ricch got with Nip. The song that you say you didn't like.
Yeah, I didn't like it. That's what I'm saying. Like I heard the little song with him and Nipsey, and I'm a Nipsey fan, but I did not like that song. Okay, so again, like this guy's getting pushed to the forefront. Well, who else? Who else is getting pushed out there? That's what I'm saying. Name me guys that would be accessible. Like I said, without me having to dig through a bunch of old ass mixtape or a bunch of shit, or go looking down somebody labeling all these unknown signings that they just picked up yesterday. Who is an artist? Who are these artists that are decently known, that are so different in their sound that don't sound like other people? That's what I need. I can't go look into these fucking digging through digital crates, if you know what I'm saying. I
can say 21. I can even say 21 Savage to a certain extent. He got his own little style nowadays, you know what I'm saying? But when he first got on, I can admit to you that he was ripping off that Atlanta scene. Because the man is basically raised in Atlanta. So, but 21 Savage, like his last album that he put out, what's it called? I Am Over Greater Than I Was. Like, if you want to listen to that album, it has a lot of different things that you can get out of, you know what I'm saying? He got a song with Childish Gambino on here, you know. He got a song with J. Cole on it. That a lot of you niggas in the chat won't bother to listen because you'll just sum them up with all these other rappers to say that fucking and just say that what's it called
21. You said 21, right?
Oh yeah, and Brandon, I appreciate that, bro. JID, he was on a double XL freshman list this year. My fault.
Oh, so you don't even know your own rappers. Nigga, I'm tired. I'm done with this. I'm done with. You said he wasn't on the list. Now he on the list. You got to use the stenographer for a reference. I can't deal with you. And 21 is a foreigner. He don't count, nigga. This nigga ain't even from America. Goddamn.
Yeah, JID, he got on the double XL freshman list, bro. A lot of Dreamville is coming up. You know what I'm saying? They got their own lyrical style, and it's like real lyrical rap. You know? But all of y'all just see these rappers and y'all just lump them up into one song, which is what I'm trying to get y'all to understand, man. It's like some of them do be copying each other. I'm well aware of that, but some of them don't, and y'all gotta stop saying that shit, bro. Y'all gotta stop.
When they stop doing it, I'll stop saying it.
And Shannon, have you even heard that a lot about 21 Savage on this record with J. Cole? Have you heard, you know what I'm saying? Have you heard Monster with Donald Glover on the song? You haven't. You know what I'm saying? You just think he all has all the same trap beats on this song. You ain't even give him a chance to. You haven't even listened to the album.
Okay. Let's do this. I'm gonna do something real quick with you, because I don't know half of these niggas, right? So I'm gonna take last year because this is the first list that came up. These are the ones who was on there, and this is last year's list. I'll try to find. This is the 2018 list. I'll try to find the 2019 list. Ski Master Slump God. I have no idea who this is. Lil Pump is trash. Smoke Perp. Never heard of him. JID was on last year.
JID.
Okay. Stefflon Don, some nigga from London. Block Boy JB, trash. YBN Namir. I think that's the one. I think. What?
Namir was terrible. That nigga is trash though. Now the only member out of the YBN crew that I could recommend that you listen to is
Corday. Corday, that's Corday. Yeah, Corday go hard. I seen Lil Corday. He's all right. Some nigga from Wi-Fi's funeral. I don't even know what that is.
Well, actually, he's not that bad.
Okay, it's a terrible name. Trippy Red, and
terrible father.
And then Lil Skies. And didn't he die?
Lil Skies, nah. Lil Skies is well alive. That nigga, I don't know. That nigga weird, but he's okay. Some people like him, don't. But.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Listeners just have them names. I don't want to hear what the fuck they talking about. But at the same time, it's like, so what is the difference in these rappers that you've given me?
Isn't that the 2017 Double XL?
That's 2018. I'm trying to I'm trying to find the other one.
Yeah, that freshman list was terrible. Half of the rappers on there had already fell off. I didn't like.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying. This is what's getting pushed to the forefront, right? So what I mean, if a person doesn't have time to really be digging and what they're pushing in the media, what they're pushing in the industry to the forefront, this is what they're saying. This is what they got. Okay, so now I think this year who you got is again, I don't know who none of these motherfuckers are. This is the 2019 list. Comethazine, Tierra Whack.
Tierra Whack, you actually need to give her a listen. She's a good female rapper. Yeah, she's way better than Cardi B and whatever gets pushed into the forefront. She actually is gonna have her push from that list.
She sounds whack. The name is Whack, so it sounds whack. The Baby, and I'm familiar with him. Lil Mosey.
Yeah. Lil Mosey, he has a couple of solid songs. I'm not a big fan of him though. Mm-hmm. Not a big catalog.
Roddy Ricch. Now,
he's phenomenal.
They got. I'm not gonna believe that phenomenal. Like I say, phenomenal is a person who stands out the first time you hear him. That maybe that wasn't his best go around on that song. YBN Corday is on this one. YKO.
Thank you. Thank you. You acknowledge that female, that lady, she got some good music.
Who?
You know what I'm saying?
Who did I acknowledge has good music?
Tierra Whack.
I didn't say anything about. I've never heard of her. Who are you talking to? Are you talking to the trap? Huh?
All right, go on.
You gotta clarify, little nigga. Megan Thee Stallion, Blueface, Gunna, Rico Nasty.
Blueface is absolute. Blueface is just some trash.
But this is what's pushed out to the media. This is what we're hearing. He sound like a bootleg ass E40. You know what I'm saying? Like he sound like a. Again, like I say, it is what it is. Megan Thee Stallion, y'all already know whatever that is. Gunna sound just like the other little nigga. Rico Nasty.
He's about what?
What happened?
After can you say that after Gunna again, Honcho? I didn't hear that.
No, I said it was Roddy Ricch, YBN Corday, YK Osiris, Rico Nasty, Gunna, Megan Thee Stallion, and Blueface. Like this is what y'all are putting out. Like this is what we know of. Like I say, and that shit all sounds. None of that shit sounds like anything I want to hear. You feel me?
Outside of Roddy Ricch, Rico Nasty, Tierra Whack, Corday, Gunna, I couldn't even a lot of that list is some trash. You know
okay, so you said it yourself. So why are we supposed to go checking for it when the majority of what we come across like this is trash? And then we already gonna have a different taste in music because the shit that y'all rapping about now is cool to y'all, but we've grown past this. We've evolved. Well, most of us hopefully have evolved past this. And so we're not gonna relate to a lot of the dumb shit, the pill popping and dumb shit, dancing and all the other shit. So it's like you gotta understand why we like, man, these motherfuckers trash, these motherfuckers trash, these motherfuckers trash. It is what it is. When you grow up,
Honcho,
look,
can you go to the 2016?
No, I'm not gonna go back that far in time. This is all I'm gonna tell you, kid.
No,
look, I done gave you because other motherfuckers want to call in. I done gave you like 40 minutes of talking to your ass about some goofy ass music. But look, this is all I'm gonna say. This is all I'm gonna say. Okay. Mark my motherfucking words, all right? when you get about, what you 16 now?
Yeah, 16.
Okay. 10 years from now, once you get, if the world still exists, once you get about 16, between 26 and 30 in that range, you're going to be saying the exact same shit I'm saying right now. Because adults used to tell us the same shit when I was listening to what I was listening to back then. People before them told them that their music, it's a generational thing. So what you got to understand is to not get so upset about the shit. It was a different vibe 10 years ago. It was a different vibe 20 years ago. And so it's just going to be like that. That's just the way shit is going to work. It's always going to be like that no matter what. So getting mad and defending these motherfuckers who don't give no shits about you is a waste of your energy, is all I'm telling you. To me, they're going to be trash. Let me tell you something. That's the last thing I'm going to say. The hardest thing that you can ever do in your life, and I'm going to tell you why not to ever even waste your time doing it, is to try to change someone's opinion. You'll never be able to do it. Okay?
No, I gave up on that.
Okay, so all I'm saying is, so I'm telling you, you got to understand your time and the value of your time and the value of your energy. So if you're trying to argue all this stuff with people, I can hear everything you're saying, and I can go listen to all this shit, and I'm still say it's whack. So I'm just letting you know, I feel you. I admire your passion to try to defend, and I know the points you're trying to prove. Because when I was your age, I was probably trying to do the same shit, or I was probably too high to fucking really give a fuck about proving it to anybody. But just, it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? It's trash. It's going to be trash, man. That's how.
All right, so let's think. So are you willing to admit that not every rapper sounds the same and people have different flows nowadays, Honcho?
I'm saying if you pick 1 or 2 out of 20, yeah, you can say that everybody sounds the same.
Man, I'll quit, man. I'll quit.
I can tell you this, and this is being completely unbiased. A lot more rappers sound the same now than did back then, and that's why people say it's a generalized term. It's not saying that all 100 rappers use the exact same cadence, the exact same flow. Like back in the day, when say Future was a hit. So back in our day, when I was younger, if a nigga would have came out, a designer type nigga would have came out when Future was having a run, or whoever, that man would have been ostracized. It would have been like, what the fuck is really going on here? Like, what is happening with this shit? Like, who the fuck is this nigga? And niggas would clown that nigga. Even when Designer came out, people thought it was a Future song. That's the reason why he got a lot of push. Like, niggas would be embarrassed to emulate another man's style.
Hang up for this.
Okay, all right, well, that's bad. Yeah. But niggas would be embarrassed to emulate another man's style. You know what I'm saying? So, again, it's a different breed. Like, now it's accepted. Now people care more about the song than the artist. Does this song make me feel a certain way? Does it still have that same kind of sound of the previous song that I like, that sounded just like it? Like, that's where we are now. You know, it's unfortunate, but that's where we are at this point in society. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we have calling in to the den this afternoon?
It's Andre.
Andre, what's the motherfucking deal? What's on your mind, Andre?
Not much, but before I hit the topic, on that last caller, I want to apologize. I can't remember what the lady's name was from the last time I called in. I don't even know if she's online right now or not, but...
Oh, you're talking about from the last time? No, that was Miss D. Nelly. Okay, yeah, from the last time you called. You're talking about the religious conversation?
I couldn't hear you too well.
I said you were talking about the religion conversation?
Yes.
Okay, yes, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was Miss D. Nelly. Okay, yes.
Okay. My head was in a bad space too, and like, I don't know, just a whole bunch of stuff. And like, I guess the thing is, I apologize for the way I came off, the tone I came off in, the aggression that I came with. It was really uncalled for. Like, as for what I was saying, I still agree with what I was saying and everything, but the way I came off, the approach, was completely wrong. Now, switching to topics. 1 in 20 sound the same for these new guys? I think you're being generous. 1 in 20? More like 1 in 50. Like, every so often, one of them might have a song that sounds different, but because like what's his name coming out of what was it like Third Ward, Greenspoint area up there? And that's another thing. Why all of them have to have these little clips of they're running in and have that in front of their name? Like all of them.
Are you talking about NFL Cartel Bo? Is that what you talking about?
Yeah, he had that song that just came out earlier this year, I think it was, or late last year, Hater.
Okay, now I don't know.
And Sun Thug was with him.
I don't know about that one. I don't think I heard that one. Let me see. I might not be.
It's an H-Town song and you ain't heard it?
Nah, man, I'm telling you, I've been off the radar. I haven't been listening to too much new anything, man. Let me see.
But I can't even say nothing about that because local stuff here I haven't been listening to since, I don't know, whenever, because around here, basically, they've been copying New York, and that's just been turning me off since day one. Because, I don't know, I've never been into New York stuff, because to me, for a long time, they actually kind of was sounding the same with, like, no energy in half of their flows and the whole monotone voice thing, but at least it was still more unique than things are now, because like almost everything with a trap beat has the exact same flow, has the exact same sound. That there's this guy Santana from Houston. He's like the son of one of the guys from Trinity Garden Cartel, and he had a song that was somewhat decent called Cotton My Act that came out last year. And then this year he's putting out a new song, and there's this radio channel that brings out new artists every so often. Like, well, every week they have a show that brings out new artists on their show, Damage Control. It's on Wednesdays. And they brought him on, and they're like, what makes this song different than your other song? And I'm like, damn, so he's like, we're one of those kind of guys. You know, his name before was EMG Santana, and now all of a sudden he's with a new clique, so he has another name in front of his name, Santana. And it's just messed up. But in the chat, people were talking about Drake, like how he hasn't been good since like he came to Houston and everything like that. And like, he hasn't been good. Period. That guy is an actor trying to be a rapper and playing the role of a rapper. And nobody around here even likes him. Like, they didn't like him before he got signed. Some of them like were happy because a rapper out of Toronto got signed. So they were happy about that because it meant, okay, if one got signed, there's hope for the rest to possibly get recognition and get signed, and finally some people getting out. But other than that, nobody liked him. It's just, we have a law that radio stations have to play 80% Canadian content. But other than that, like, if anybody in the den listens to his songs, he has this thing that he keeps pushing where he's like always trying to call Toronto the six, and nobody around here I don't think in Canada, period, furthermore here in Toronto, calls it the six.
Yeah.
They even had like news people doing polls trying to find out, what do you call Toronto? And not one person ever said the six. Like, growing up, everybody was always like T.O., T.O., T.O. That's what we learned. But then I guess my generation, when we were coming up, like all of a sudden a couple of rappers came up with T dot O dot, and then just dropped the back half of it and called it T dot, and that's what's still going, and that's what people were still calling it, even in those polls, and like that's how much clout that guy has even here. So even with the Raptors, like trying to use him as an ambassador, it made no sense to anybody. So like he's just some like I don't even know what to say. Like it's not even a clown. It's beyond that. It's just evaporated water, pretty much. Not even a cloud. Not even a cloud yet. And really, that's all I got to say, anyways.
Okay. So, did he put out music there before he ever came to the U.S. with it, or did he start off? Did the music come out in the U.S. before he ever kind of got big in Canada?
If he did what?
So did Drake put out music in Canada before he ever kind of blew up in the U.S.? You know, before he came down to Houston and kind of got on?
Yeah, because that's the whole thing with Jay Prince Jr. wanting to sign him, is that he thought he was blowing up in Canada. But the thing is, all you have to do is have a single and go to a radio station and try to get them to play it. And if you have any record company behind you up here, like they'll toss some money and thing it. And because he was like a personality and like from the acting, and then tried to switch over to movie, switch over to music, he already had that part going for him. So like one, he had a bit of cash, so he had the cash, and I guess if you really want to say he had a name, which he really didn't, but I guess from versus like me or anybody else in the street, he had, I guess, a more recognizable face, you could say, to a company. It might seem like, okay, well, maybe we can market this guy. He already has a start ahead of everything else. We put some money behind it, and we can get something going. So that's pretty much what got him his spins, like on the radio. And that's what Jay Prince Jr. was seeing. Like, nobody was really like buying or liking his music. Like, yeah, there might have been some girls liking like some of the stuff he was doing, but the thing is, you hear a song like 20 times in an hour on the radio. Eventually, you start having it. The words just ingrain into your brain, just naturally. But it doesn't mean you naturally like it. It's just some people eventually end up liking it. But if you hate it off the bat, it'll still get stuck into your memory. But like this, songs that people hate all the time, but because you're listening to it constantly, and you can't help but listen to it because it's being blasted at you, you remember it.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of songs I know I fucking couldn't stand, and so that's why I have a habit now. If as soon as I hear something, I don't like to change that shit because I don't want that shit. I don't want to know none of it. Like I don't want to hear a piece of it. That fucking, I hated that fucking Kiki song, and fucking anytime because from all the memes before I even heard it, as soon as I hear something that sounds like I'm cutting that shit off. But yeah, there's been plenty of songs that I know started out that they were trash, and then you keep hearing it over and over, and you're like, fuck, you just kind of let it play in the background. You think you ain't paying no attention, and next thing you know, you singing fucking lyrics from that shit. And so it's fucking terrible. I definitely. So I try to cut that shit off. I don't want that shit in my head at all. So there's that. Okay. Well, that's a bit.
Oh, and actually, there's another female rapper that's coming out of Texas. I think her name is Star. She actually has. Well, I've heard a couple of her songs off that radio station, and she actually is a bit more unique and has something. I'm not sure if she's from Texas. I know she's living. I mean, I'm not sure if she's from Houston. I know she's living in Houston now, but I'm not sure if she's from like San Antonio or somewhere else and just moved to Houston. And there was another female that they had on the show a couple weeks ago that was from Houston, moved to Atlanta, and is back in Houston now to like get her stuff going. Like she started rapping in Atlanta and then just moved back here. Moved back there to Houston.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not.
But
Like I said, man, I've been so far off the rap scene. Really, I'll catch one or two here or there, but I really don't be on it. But here's the deal, man. I hate to cut you short, but I'm gonna get ready to wind it down because I got to take another Honcho hiatus. I've been drinking too much goddamn water, and it'd be like that. But I appreciate you calling. Anything you want to add real quick before we wrap it up?
all right, no problem.
All right, appreciate it.
Okay, thanks for taking the call.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye.
Yeah, man. Look, I've been drinking a shit ton of water. Man, fuck it. I'm gonna have to pause y'all a second. I'll be right back to wrap everything up. Give me just a second. guess I should put the audio on. All right, so here's the deal. I'm gonna get ready to wind it down because I got like I said, I got a long to-do list of shit that I have been working to get, like I said, get some things going better. So I gotta, like I said, it's just a bunch of stuff I gotta tweak and get everything going. And like I said, I want to give y'all better content. I gotta just say, it's just little things that have to be done. So I got a long list of stuff to do. As y'all can see, yes, I've quit. Quit the blacks. You know, it's not a big deal, but I know they were problematic, I guess you could say. I know that they would be they would make y'all flimmy and shit. I've still been kind of flimmy, but you know, get that out of there. I'm cutting out a bunch of the negatives. I'm gonna definitely cut out my sugar intake. Cause I had a bad week. Like I was saying, I was doing the calorie cutting. Like I ain't gonna lie, like the last week and a half, definitely was on the shenanigans. I got down to like 237-ish. And you know, 4th of July, and I kind of kept it going, and I ain't gonna say where I'm at now, but I'm gonna go ahead and get back right. Yeah, we'll be sauce tonight. Probably be talking about, we'll be talking about this. So it'll probably be on Sauce Sports TV, not on the regular Sauce Sports channel. We'll be talking about Russell and all that other stuff that I don't want to talk about. But they picked up Tyson Chandler, so it's gonna be real interesting. I think it's gonna be real interesting. Everybody was hating. They was talking about fire more. They was talking shit to more. Look at you. Look at y'all now. But yeah, I ballooned back up a little bit. But thank you. Look at Slim, appreciate it. I'm trying to get there. But I got to get back. Get back right. I have also, like I said yesterday, I had obtained I did the kind of same thing I did with the Stop the Black. Smoked a bunch of them till it disgusted me. Do the same thing with the sugar, eat a bunch of sugary bullshit till I'm disgusted with it, and I put a mental association with it. Now, I can't lie before I wrap it all up, because I want to get better, like mainly greens and meats. Cut out all the extra, the bread and all that bullshit. It's really unnecessary. So the plan is to really start getting super serious about it Monday. So that's why I'm taking a couple of days, weekend, to just really cut shit out and get hardcore. Because even when I was doing the calorie cutting, I was still eating bullshit, but I was just staying under my calories. But now if I cut everything out and do the calories, I should be much better off. I want a pizza. I think I want a pizza. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we gotta do. Try ball shape. I gotta get there. I gotta get there. Now I can't take the shirt off now. A couple of days ago I probably could have took it off. I ate a bunch of junk yesterday. I'll take it off in 2 weeks. We'll see where we at. In about 2 weeks. Yeah, that's where we're gonna be at. Let me say, yeah, but that's where I'm at, man. I'm over here trying to make a decision. That's what I was talking last night. I was like, I don't know what you call it, but look, I'm trying to get one of them LGBT reparations check. Maybe I can get away with it. But because it's like I get into this dynamic. I get too slim, I start getting skinny. Then I want to be big. I start getting too big, then I want to be skinny. I got to find a proper in between. I think maybe about 240 will be solid. Like somewhere in that 240, maybe 245-ish range, but it's got to be more muscle. So I definitely got to put in more work. I need to do more, like, because I've been looking at some calisthenic shit. Because I want it to be functional. Like I don't want to just be. I did that when I was younger, just be big for no reason. I'm not saying it wasn't functional strength, but it was just like, why am I this big? So I want to be big but functional. So I've been looking at some calisthenics workouts and things of that nature. So I'm gonna see how that works out for me. But I'm gonna try to probably stay in that 240, 245-ish range. I know I said I want to get down to 215, but it had to be super lean muscle. Like, I don't know. It's just, we'll see where it is. Cause I I get too skinny. I'm like, man, I don't want to be super skinny. I want to be the monster. Then I get big, and I'm like, I don't want to be a monster. I need to be a little slim. I think I need to be like in between 230, maybe between 230 245, somewhere in that range. I think is a solid range. We'll see. But but right now I'm not in that range, so we just gonna do. But who gonna be honest about it? Who gonna be honest about the weight loss contest? You know what I'm saying? You know, that's the thing. Yeah, but look, yeah, that's what I got to do. I got to slim it up because they say once you lose how much do they say is every 15 pounds or something like that? You're supposed to get some of your meat back. I think they say if you gain too much, you lose visual of your meat, or the something. I forgot what it is. It's something crazy. I read this shit like 3 or 4 years ago. Something crazy. But I just gotta get in better shape for myself. Yeah, I gotta get in tribal shape so I can be out there, hitting them with the and ones. I can hit them with the James Harden crossover on the tribal field. You feel me? But you say, what's the top of the night? It's Friday night, Nikki. What you mean? What is Friday night? You know what Friday night's topic is. You ain't even gotta ask. But here's the deal. Let me go ahead. Like I said, I got some things to take care of. I'm really thinking about it. This might not be a bad idea. The Den weight loss contest. But how do we determine? Like we gotta figure out a way to certify and make sure it's all official. Make sure ain't nobody cheating and shit. We'll find a way though. We'll find a way. That might not be a bad idea. Because it's all about growth and progress and learning and becoming better people from the Den. So that might not be a bad idea. It might be pretty cool. We'll see what we can come up with. That. I'm gonna think about that as we come into the night. So I think that'll be very interesting. But like I said, I'm gonna slide up out of here. I don't know. Is it? Yeah. Because what if you're already skinny? Like what kind of contest? What about the skinny people? They automatically get excluded. Like we got to figure out maybe like some type of body transformation contest. Maybe it's not necessarily weight, because numbers can be suspect. Like say you can lose a lot of fat and then put on some muscle and then still be a certain weight. So maybe maybe we have a body transformation. So maybe whoever now looks like I'm gonna be going to hit the lipo and all that now. But maybe who makes the greatest transition or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Like the skinny folks give me. We'll do something like we start off with your beginning photo, and then maybe we give it a couple of months or something, and then we see who's made the greatest changes. So it could be maybe to put it on muscle, or it could be lost weight, or it could be slimmed up or toned up. It could be, I don't know, we'll figure something out. We'll figure something out though. But I'm gonna slide up out of here, man. Hey, we do the proper exit strategy. But I appreciate all y'all for coming through today. And like I said, we'll be back at it tonight. And I'm still trying to tweak and figure out some of these buffering issues, what's really going on with that. When it's bad this morning, but it got real bad late last night. So we'll see. But Ed Honcho HTX, you can follow my Instagram, Twitter, and my personal socials if you want to follow me there. That's greatly appreciated. Let me know who you are, and I'll definitely follow back. I enjoy following y'all back. I like to know who y'all are. I like to get to know y'all. Like the video. If you enjoyed, subscribe. If you're new and you're just lurking, we do this live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Central Time, and then 7 days a week at 10 p.m. Central Time. If you want to follow the Den socials, I don't really fall back on the socials on the Den, but you can go to Den Show Live on every major platform, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you want to send an email, send it to denshowlive@gmail. If you want to listen to the podcast, it's on denshowpodcast.com. You can follow directly there. And also, if you, it's on every major platform. It's on iHeartRadio, everything but Spotify. I tried to submit it again to Spotify today. They rejected me like instantly. So I don't know again. It might be, because I know Spotify has a length that they allow certain podcasts to be, or it might be the size. So I got to go back and look at a couple of things to see why they keep rejecting my podcast. I may have to lower the quality of the podcast so the file size may be smaller, something like that. But I'll see what's going on with the Spotify situation. But everywhere else you can find it. Den Show Shop, if you want to get some of that Den Show merch. If you never see a hater in real life, if you got plenty of haters online, somebody they always talking shit online, but you never see them in real life. Hey, you two that never see a hater in real life shirt. gotta close the line. What you got going on there, Beyond? You gonna talk about that towel? Yeah, the line is closed. Let me see what you I mean, we need to talk about that towel. We finna talk about the towel? 'Cause I need to talk about it. Weird. This is what we do. Let me finish my little exit protocol, and I'll take one last call from you real quick. Give me just a second. Let me see what we got. If you ever want to call it in, just like Beyond just did, whether we're live or not, you can go to 833-284-3336. You can send a screenshot if you have some news, a funny meme, something you'd like to share, a text message for a topic title, links, whatever it may be. Feel free to send to the Den line, and I will try to get to those as soon as possible. If you want to support the channel, you can always make a one-time donation via Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/The Den Show. And if you want to pledge to the long-term success of the channel, you can go to patreon.com/The Den Show. Shout out to Miss Grace, Miss Tina Starry-Eyed, James, Dan, Diana, Donald Trump, Betty Spaghetti, and hold on. Did I say Miss Goya? I think it was Goya, but if I forgot. All right. But with that being said, here, let me see. I'll take one last call from Mr. Beyond real quick, and then we're gonna close it down after that. If you ain't talking about nothing, I'm gonna hang up on him while he talking, like I be doing Kenneth sometime. All right, line is open, Mr. Beyond, waiting on your call, man. Let me hear what you got to say. You got a minute to call in, and I'll take it. Kenneth's trying to hack my shit. Probably trying to bootleg all that drakery. Probably bootlegging, trying to download old episodes of Degrassi and shit. You know what I'm saying? Already. What's the motherfucking deal, Mr. Beyond? What's on your mind this evening, man?
That is beyond funny.
Yeah, I ain't give you the proper intro. What's on your mind, man?
No, man, I just put a sleep my case, man. Look, it was my mama's town. That it was the only cleanest town that I had right now, because everything else was dirty clothes at the time. So I was like, fuck it. I will wrap this bitch around me. Then it stay dry. Hey.
I understand.
You must have thought I joined the LGBT community.
Man, I didn't know if it was a deliberate choice of tile. You know, if it was just like, I'm gonna come stunting on these niggas today. I'm gonna bring this specific tile. But I understand, hey, sometimes when it's the only clean tile, you got to do what you got to do, man. I remember it made me think. I used to have a little dinosaur tile when I was little, and somehow it came back around when I was older. I think they found it out of the storage or something. And one day it was the only tile available. I had to use that bitch. I felt like I ruined some childhood memories, but hey, it is what it is. I ain't mad. I just had to give you a hard time. I'm just like, why? What is happening with this specific tile? It's very unique.
See what you said, Honcho?
No, I said because I was saying the tile that you had chose was very unique.
Oh, I mean, it's made a nice fabric. People want me to be a blanket sometimes, but that was just a one-time thing. I ain't gonna bring that out no more.
It's all good.
Man, keep that in the bathroom.
So I got a question for you though, man. What's next on the Beyond the Funny Nigga roster, man? What's the next move? We got another comedy special coming up.
I got
what's the next play?
I'm taking a break from the special right now. Can you hear me, Honcho? Because I'm sick as hell. Got that summertime cold.
Yeah, no, you good.
But yeah, so I'm coming up with this podcast. The concept of it is just me going around Houston and interacting with people over different subjects that people choose off my Instagram.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always have to be in person. Like, you can submit a voice track that I was thinking to respond to the subject that's given. It's going to be called Beyond the Truth. But really all the details I got right now. The streaming, it's going to be on Instagram, IGTV. I'm trying to get it on iTunes.
You kind of get a little bit muffled. I can hear you, but I don't know if the folks in here kind of got muffled just a little bit. it still sounds a little muffled. Let me see if I can turn you up on the turn your decibel up on my end. Let me see. All right, say something.
Yeah, I was saying that
Okay,
we
there you
can stream on Instagram, IGTV. I'm trying to get it on iTunes also. Um, but that's pretty much, man. I gotta stay updated on my Instagram because I'm still coming up with ideas and stuff for myself. But I know for sure that it will start in August sometime.
Okay. Well, that's a BT. Definitely will be looking forward to that. Um, okay. That's what's happening. So you said Beyond the Truth.
Yeah, Beyond the Truth.
Okay.
And for the comedy specials, I'm gonna probably start them back probably October, Halloween. So don't miss that, but I'm gonna promote that later.
Okay. So like with the comedy specials, have you like ever thought about putting them on a channel for people who may have not had a chance to like access them, who would like to see them, or how do you? What if somebody wanted to have a chance to see an old comedy special that they missed? How would they have an opportunity to do that?
Repeat what you said, Honcho?
I said, so what if somebody wanted a way to try to see an old comedy special that they may have missed? How would they have an opportunity to do that?
What do you mean about the voice track or like submitting?
No, I'm saying like if somebody wanted to catch one of your comedy specials that may not have caught one, say either like The Cookout or Back in the Day or Living Single or any of those that they may have missed out on, is there any way that they could catch those?
Oh yeah. If you go on my page on Instagram, beyond underscore a underscore funny nigga, and when you first look at my page, it's these highlight bubbles like it's underneath my bio and it has circles all around, and like each circle is one of my little specials that I did. So you just click on that and you just listen from that.
Okay. Well, that's a BET. That's a BET. Already. Anything else you'd like to add, Mr. Beyond?
Nah, hot as hell outside is all I know.
Yeah, you gotta be careful out there. Niggas was hoping that little tropical storm was gonna come through and cool it off for a minute, but shit, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Already. Well, Mr. Beyond, I appreciate you calling in, man.
All right, Hunter.
All right, you have a good one. And shout out to Mr. Mark. I appreciate the love. And female pimp, go eat some tortilla chips. Goddamn, ain't nobody listening to you. Look, man, don't talk about. Look, I'm gonna find that time. I wouldn't be surprised my mama still got it because what had happened was it was like 3 times. Actually, that one, I don't know, because it was a red one, right, and it had like a little yellow brontosaurus on it, right. That was like the dry tile. But then it was 2 of them that had like a Tyrannosaurus Rex on it, and it said Tyrannosaurus, but that nigga was like round. He had no aggressive features. He wasn't like a Jurassic Park Tyrannosaurus. He was just like something like a 5-year-old. He was like a little soft ass Tyrannosaurus, but she had made like a homemade pillow out of that bitch. And nah, I'm talking about my tile situation. I ain't talking about your tile situation. Somebody was capping on my because I said I had a dinosaur tile, and so the dinosaur was soft looking, and but that used to be like my favorite little tile. Word, nobody cares. Female pimp, damn, that's fucked up. It really hurts my feelings. It's all right. I know you got a whole bag of Tostitos at home, and you're gonna enjoy them while you're on this timeout. Bow. So, with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for coming through, man. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. I'm finna slide up out of here. Shout out to the dear folks. We'll be live tonight at 10, and I will see y'all then. I'm gonna steal some pistachios and do all that other good stuff while we at it. But I'm out. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, and guard your nuts. Yeah, look, female pimp always talking shit. Yeah. Talk shit to yourself for a few minutes, goddamn it. You over there capping. Care about that. Care about them 600 seconds you just got. How about that? You know what I'm talking about? I'm out. I'm finna steal a couple of pistachios and I'm gone.